come in the room so I don't get cut off because the beginning of the videos are always getting cut off. And I can go over my notes. So today, while I'm waiting for people, we're talking about feeling invisible, trauma bonds, loneliness, grief, abandonment, finding yourself again. Waiting for my peoples to come in. Hi, Deanna. Hi, Katie. There they are. They're starting to trickle in. Good to see you guys. How you doing? Hi, Eleni. Did I say that right? Good to see you. All right, I'll get started since we're starting to come in here now. Hi, Hava Java. It's so good to see you guys. This is my favorite part of the week. Okay, so today's uh I've been having trouble. I have a toxic relationship with technology. I've been fighting with my computer all day. I wanted to do the live on my computer. So you see my tapestry in the background. I didn't get to iron out whatever. And it's backwards because I had to go on my phone. So, anyway, today's about feeling invisible, trauma bonds, loneliness, grief, abandonment, finding yourself again. There's some new people that may have come in that are still trying to break the trauma bond. So, I wanted to cover that today too. So, have you guys ever felt invisible your whole life, even while you're surrounded with people? And how many of you have ever felt unseen, unheard, tolerated more than wanted? Just kind of put up with. Sometimes the loneliest people aren't alone. They're sitting in rooms full of people who never really saw them. Yes, we're getting yes, yes, yes. So we can all relate to this. Uh, Unfortunately, I'm glad that we came together under these circumstances, but we have support and we have each other. So that's a good thing. Invisible, except when, exactly, Deanna. Oh my God, especially at work or in families, they don't notice the good things that you're doing. That is so, until you do something wrong. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they notice. They don't tell you, oh, you're doing a good job or, something to lift you up. It's always, you did something wrong. So, where did you first feel invisible, you guys? In your childhood, relationships, family, friendships? I know mine started in childhood, coming from adoption and stuff like that. Hi, Curtis. Hi, Angela. Welcome in, everybody. How are you doing? It's good to see everybody. Today's about feeling invisible, growing up with childhood trauma, just not feeling seen, not feeling validated. Home with family, Katie says. I was asking, when did you guys first start feeling invisible? Because with me, it wasn't with the narcissist, although they do make you feel that way. It goes way before that. If we look back, our childhoods, families, friends, never feeling like you fit in. Um, yeah, I see a lot of childhood. That kind of hurt leaves scars. And it makes sense. You didn't deserve to feel unseen. None of us do. But I think a lot of us learn to disappear to survive. Angela says, my narcissistic and codependent family always made me feel invisible. Yeah, see, so many of us went through that. And I'm so sorry anybody does, because every child deserves to be seen, loved, and nurtured. It goes all the way back. Yeah, digging in that dirt, right? Getting our fingernails dirty. That's why my fingernails are always dirty. I swear, because I'm digging in the dirt a lot. So this topic hit hard in the community tab when I posted something. So many people said they feel invisible. And I think for a lot of us, especially survivors of trauma, narcissistic abuse, abandonment, neglect, invisibility becomes part of our identity. Oh, you know what? You know why I look different? I don't have my light. I need my light. It looked like I'm in the dark. And it's really hot here today, y'all. It's been so freaking hot out here in the desert. There, that's better. Now you can see me a little better. Like I'm not sitting in a dungeon. So, for me personally, this goes deep. Sometimes you can feel emotionally homeless your whole life. You guys felt emotionally homeless like your whole life. Like you've had homes, but you never really felt safe. You never really felt seen. You never felt protected. You never felt fully wanted. How many of you can relate to that? Just feeling emotionally homeless. If you grew up invisible, how did it show up later in life? What is invisible? Being invisible can look like being talked over. Katie says it always seemed better if I wasn't around. Yeah. Hi, Stargazer. How are you doing? Good to see you. So it can look like being talked over. Your feelings are being ignored. You're being dismissed. You're being the fixer, the helper, or only being wanted when you're needed, feeling tolerated instead of wanted, feeling like your needs burden people, or feeling like you have to earn love. I remember, even in my adulthood, when I tried to reconnect with my adoptive mother, I would go around cleaning her house, and she told me, you don't have to clean when you come over here, but yes, I do. Because I feel like you don't accept me unless I do. Anybody relate to that? Like you just can't, you feel like you always have to be doing something to earn their love. Like you had conditions, or people only notice you when you need something. Or like when Deanna said, when you make a mistake and then they notice. When you screw up, they'll notice you then. Feel like a homeless person for sure. Yeah, so many of us relate in here, but I'm glad we're not alone in this because it really helps to know that other people struggle with that because a lot of the times we stay silent about it. And how many in here became the strong one in your family? You were parentified or you took care of your siblings, that kind of thing. You're always the strong one, always the one to do everything, pick up the pieces, make the dinner, cook the dinner, clean the house, everything, whatever. No emotional safety or security in my childhood. Yeah, same, same. Unfortunately, a lot of people can relate. God is my real family. I'm glad that you find comfort in that. We all need something to make us feel safe and comforted. Um, And then, so when your feelings are ignored enough, you start ignoring your own feelings. And this is what leads up to what got us into the narcissistic abusive relationship. You start ignoring your own feelings. Eventually, you stop asking for what you need. And it makes sense. You kind of dwindle down, you shrink down to nothing. You were the household emotional regulator. Yeah. And you shouldn't have to be when you're a child. That's a brutal job to ask of a child. And it's supposed to be the opposite way. So I can see how that really hurt you as a child because it doesn't make sense, but then you think that it's normal because that's all you know. So we grow up feeling invisible. We learn to ignore ourselves. You adapt to survive. And this is where invisibility can become dangerous because when you feel unseen long enough, you become vulnerable to what? Trauma bonds. Trauma bonds and narcissists and toxic people. You were the emotional punching bag. And I'm so sorry you dealt with that. Yeah. No kid deserves that. No adult does either. Nobody deserves any kind of being an emotional punching bag. So feeling invisible makes us vulnerable to trauma bonds because when you felt invisible most of your life, being seen feels powerful. When you met the narcissist, they put you on a pedestal, right? So it feels powerful. And crumbs feel like a feast. See, Hava Java says, I think I've become numb to my own feelings for a couple of decades trying to undo that. Yeah, it's like defrosting. When you're sitting in your feelings and feeling them rather than numbing them out and stuff like that. I'm so glad that you're doing that. Be so proud of yourself because it's not an easy thing to do. When we're used to shoving down our feelings all the time and then we're sitting there and they're thawing out and you're like, this does not feel good. Healing doesn't always feel good. It's rough. So be very proud of yourself because it's not for everybody. It's not for the weak. I'll tell you that. All of you here are powerful. You're very strong, stronger than you know. If you can't spell it or comprehend it, you should hold that responsibility. You shouldn't. Yes, I agree. Yeah, kids shouldn't have that kind of responsibility. So crumbs feel like a feast. Being seen feels powerful. You're like, wow, someone finally loves me. Attention feels like love. Being chosen feels like worth. The love bombing thing, it feels like, wow, someone's finally noticing me. I am somebody. So if nobody really saw you growing up and that narcissist comes along and says, I see you, I understand, you matter, that can feel like oxygen. And hi, Honey Pepper. I'm so good to see you. It's cleaning day. Girl, I wish we could clean together because my house needs it. I don't have time to do anything. It's your cleaning day, so I'm just listening. Hey, everybody, good to see you. All right, you clean away. We'll be right here. I'm glad you were able to make it. You're multitasking. You go, girl. So, um, when someone comes along, I see you, I understand you, you matter. That can feel like oxygen. And sometimes we're not addicted to the person, we're addicted to finally feeling visible. And that's why, how many of you ignored the red flags because someone finally made you feel seen? Me. There were huge red flags. Share in the comments what red flags that you ignored. And let's talk about what trauma bonds really are. So we know what a trauma bond is. It's a painful attachment formed through cycles of love bombing, withdrawal. Hi, Avery. Good to see you. Hava Java says hands up. Deanna, yes, yes. Katie, yes. A painful attachment is formed through cycles of, we all know about this, the love bombing, the withdrawal, the hot and cold behavior, the emotional confusion, the relief after pain when they come back after they discard you. So a trauma bond feels like love, but often what we're attached to is hope, relief, survival, and the version of them that we keep wanting them to come back. The one that we saw in the beginning when they were deceiving us with their love bombing. So, how many of you kept thinking, only if I explain better, if I love better, if I love harder, if I wait longer, just have more patience, they'll finally change? Or you see that potential? Let me tell you something. I think we've all been down that road with them because that's what goes with being with a narcissist. And we all think at one point that, man, I was stupid, I was weak, but you're not stupid, you're not weak. Trauma bonds are incredibly powerful. It's been said that breaking a trauma bond is worse than somebody getting off of heroin. That's what those chemicals do to you. And it's no joke. It's not like just getting over a relationship. So, breaking the trauma bond. Let me read some of these though first. 100% Angela says his behavior that I didn't like but ignored. That's the red flag that you, yeah, 100% Eleni. Yep. Ignored all the red flags because you think they have potential. I served the narcissist to a fault until they took everything from me. And that's what they do. They're thieves. They will. They will take everything from you. And it doesn't just always mean financially, it's your energy, it's your everything of who you are. I overlooked what coward he is, but I never realized being a coward for your wife and children was a thing. Yeah, that's rough, Deanna. I guess it is a thing for them. So, for those of you that are in here that maybe have not broken the trauma bond yet, I made a video about that. The first step to breaking that trauma bond is recognizing it, naming it, and accepting it. The first step is saying, "This is a trauma bond. It's not chemistry. You're not soulmates. It's not a relationship. It's a relationship. It's not love. It's a trauma bond." Because if we don't understand it, we'll keep saying things like, "But I love them. But maybe they'll change. They're in therapy," or "I see the potential." Whatever excuse that we give to them, or how about this one? "Maybe if I explain myself better," or "What's wrong with me?" Instead of that, shift it and start looking for patterns. The pattern is your closure. How many of you looked for closure from the narcissist? A sorry, an apology, something like that, an explanation, finally, them admitting to what they did? I did. And then I realized I am never going to get that. And once you see the patterns and you see them for what they truly are, the trauma bond is easier to break. The pattern is the closure, not the apology, not the promises, not the version of them that you hope for. It's the pattern. So the question to ask yourself is, has this happened before? Is this a cycle? Do they hurt me, apologize, and repeat it? Am I attached to who they are or who I hope they'll become? Because we have this little fantasy in our minds, right? Instead of seeing things for what they truly are, we think of things of how we want them to be. And that can get us in trouble. And it did get us in trouble. But here we are now. Healing started when I stopped listening to promises and started paying attention to patterns. And another thing that helped me um, was I stopped relying on memory when I missed them, because trauma bonds make us remember selectively. We will remember all of the good times and make you miss them all that much more, because when we're lonely, we miss them. Remember the good moments, the chemistry. I just want him to act normal. They're always asking what's wrong with you when it's what's wrong with them. Yeah, honey pepper, they're projecting onto you all the time. Yeah, of course, Deanna, you want them to act normal, but what they don't know what normal is. So in the trauma bond, you remember the good moments, the affection, how what a great hugger they were, kisser, whatever that you liked about them when they were being kind to you, when they were putting on the nice mask. Yeah, when someone loves bombs you without knowing you, that's a huge red flag. Absolutely, Angelina. They'll want to spend money on you or text you all the time or spend all their time with you and start saying you're so different from everybody else. And I want to put a ring on your finger. That's like, put the brakes on. That's a no bueno. So this is another thing I did so you first recognize that it's a trauma bond, you recognize the patterns, you realize that you do not miss them. You're missing the image in your head that you have created and that they have falsely created for you. And then this is what I also did when I first broke the trauma bond. I took a piece of paper, make two columns down the middle, and put number one column, you write good at the top, and on the other side, you write the bad. So on the good side, you write all the nice things they did, all the good memories, the moments that felt genuine, the affection, what made you stay. But then ask yourself, was this a genuine connection or was it transactional? Because healthy people create consistency. And the only thing a narcissist is consistent with is deceiving you and lying to you and just the big BS. Manipulative people create confusion. If there's constant confusion, pay attention to that. Healthy love may have conflict. Of course, it's going to have conflict, but it doesn't constantly confuse you. So ask yourself too, did I feel emotionally safe or emotionally hooked when you're writing down those good things? Did you feel safe or emotionally hooked? Like they were using those things to manipulate you. And then column two, like I said, it's the pattern and the harm. So you're going to write things like gaslighting, Darvo. That's, God, help me, brain fog, brain fog. Defend. Someone help me out with Darvo. I just got brain fog about it right now. Blame shifting, lies, cheating, abandonment, betrayal, silent treatment, hot and cold behavior, broken promises, manipulation, walking on eggshells, emotional neglect, times they disappeared, times they made you question yourself. Don't write excuses, write patterns. Narcissists give you an imaginary relationship. Everything is fantasy. Yeah. Gaslighting's not eco-friendly. Defend, attack, reverse. See, you guys, brain fog right here. I don't know if my brain fog will ever go away. Victim and offender. They reverse the roles, so they somehow become the victim for what they did to you. It's just crazy. Looks like someone needs 1,000-minute timeout. Security, security. Yes, victim, reverse victim. Shut up, Deanna. Okay, he needs to be booted. Security, where are you at? Come on, my moderators. We have no room for you, Jamie. Go. What grade are you in? Come on now. Um, so don't write excuses, write patterns. Thank you, Katie. Stop listening to promises, start studying patterns. So, how many ignored patterns because the good moments felt so good when you were in that trauma bond? Me. And this is why breaking them feels so hard because you're addicted to hope. Your nervous system got hooked. Relief feels like love. Okay, where's the bouncers? That guy, he must have multiple accounts. They just make me laugh anymore. It's just so funny. So your nervous system got hooked. Relief feels like love. Loneliness pulls you back in. You grieve potential. You fear the fear of abandonment kicks in. Oh, is he a bot? Okay. It's still funny. Sometimes we confuse relief with love because we want so desperately for them to come back. You know, when they make you feel like they just pushed you out of a plane. I just did a video on this yesterday. Like you are skydiving without a parachute. You know, I know you can all relate to that when they've got you up here from love bombing and then they kick you out of the plane without a parachute and you hit the ground and you're like, what the hell is happening? Um, and you want relief from that because we don't want to be in pain. None of us want to be in pain. I went to block, but went to the channel with no contact. Okay, that makes sense. Well, at least it's not a narcissist coming up in here. I guess it's a narcissist bot trying to annoy us. Um, so a lot of us went back knowing it was unhealthy, knowing that it wasn't good for us, but it does not mean that you were weak because this is hard. Trauma bonds are hard, they're not easy. So eventually, healing may mean no contact if possible. That's the next step to breaking the trauma bond is no contact. And if you have to have contact with them, you have very little interaction. You know, we go into gray rock. I'm sure you guys heard all about that. Give them as little emotional output as possible. And I know that's easier said than done when you still got to deal with them because they try to push your buttons, believe me. Narcissists are sabotaging this channel. They can try, Angela, but they're not going to get very far. We got security guards in here. We won't allow it because this is a safe place for people to come. Like people that are still in it, still in the narcissistic relationship and trying to get out and for people healing. So eventually healing means no contact if possible, low contact if kids and legal situations are involved. Stop chasing closure. Stop trying to make them understand. Stop trying to explain things like in different ways. They'll just drive you nuts because they don't care. They're not going to understand. The closure simply may be accepting that they will never understand because they don't want to. They've got their mind made up. They've got their mind made up about you already, about who you are. So it's like spinning your wheels in the mud. So the closure is just accepting they may never understand. And loneliness keeps a lot of people stuck too. Loneliness and invisibility. Sometimes loneliness hurts more than dysfunction. We stay because the silence hurts. Being alone feels terrifying. We miss hope. We miss potential. We miss fantasy. We miss feeling chosen. Sometimes loneliness hurts more than dysfunction. How many of you feel lonely even around people? Be happy with myself. Yes, Rose. That's the main thing is to really get to know yourself, spend time with yourself. That's the next part of breaking the trauma bond is asking yourself, what do I like? Because remember earlier in the live, I was saying that as children, we learn to be quiet. We learn to silence ourselves. We learn to ignore ourselves. And that's why we attracted people like the narcissist and not even they don't even have to have a label, just toxic in itself. People that genuinely don't care about you, they just want to use you and get what they want from you. So you can feel lonely around people. How many of you feel lonely about people? I do right now because I'm rebuilding with zero social world yet. Sit with yourself and reflect. Feel lonely around narcissists and codependents. Yeah, and another thing too, you guys, is like with being with the narcissist is so chaotic that your nervous system is up here. Like, picture a blender without a lid. When your nervous system comes from that to them now being gone, and now you have silence in yourself, the silence can be so loud that it feels extremely uncomfortable. And that's when a lot of people might go back. Do you guys remember ever being in that time where, wow, it's almost like the calm before the storm, but it's actually you're not used to your nervous system being able to finally go, I can breathe, and it feels foreign to you. So sometimes it's uncomfortable. And at that point, a lot of people go back. Like I remember I did because it got so uncomfortable. I just wanted another hit of him, you know? Um, so you can feel lonely sitting next to somebody and feel completely alone. And that loneliness hits different. Let me catch up. Wow, we got a lot going on in here today, you guys. The security is on the ball. So that loneliness hits different. I want to know, what is harder for you, being lonely or staying with someone unhealthy? Let me know in the chat, you guys. Which one? I remember at a time, and I even told the narcissist this. I said, it's getting more painful to be with you than the thought of being alone, because being alone terrified me. And I know it terrified a lot of people, that that's one of the reasons they stay. And it got to where, see, here was the fear of being alone. Here was the fear of staying with him. And this fear got less, this got heavier. Staying with him got heavier and heavier. And I'm like, I would rather be alone than to be with this. Always having someone, there's no relationship that you can have that is based on lies from the get-go. And narcissists, that's what they do. And even not narcissists, any toxic person, if you are starting out the relationship with lies, you got nothing. It's like trying to build something on sand. It's like trying to build a house on sand. Hands down, being with someone unhealthy. Yeah, you blocked a bot. Thank you, Deanna. Being around unhealthy and unhealed people. I hated, I have hated being alone in a relationship. Shit. Yeah. Would rather be alone than unhappy with the narcissist. Good. So you guys crossed over and you were able to see that. That's good. So hopefully someone, maybe someone that's in here that's trying to break the trauma bond, that will be helpful for them to know that when you're feeling those feelings, when they are gone and your nervous system gets a chance to actually breathe, that it will feel uncomfortable at first. But know that that's normal and just sit with it and keep going, because um, it will get to where you embrace time alone. You 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 value your peace so much that you have a like a heavy filter on your life of who you're allowing to come in and use your energy, have access to you, your energy, everything. You get really good at filtering people, and you can pick up on things like that, because you don't want to go through that again, because it was so incredibly freaking painful. And when you've come so far in the healing process, you don't want to go back. You never want to go back. Like Deanna says, I would rather be alone. Pets that make poop poop messes are better than an a-hole narc. Yes. Yes, they are. You're so funny, Deanna. It's true. I'd rather pick up poop any day. Love my private space. Yay. Okay, I'm not on my computer, so I can't make our little yay emoji thing, but yay. So I'll do it with my fingers. Anyways, so this goes into grief and abandonment section. So sometimes we grieve people that are still alive, the family that we deserved, the love that we never got, the childhood that we missed, lost years, lost identity, lost hope. So sometimes we're not grieving the person, we're grieving the hope. Those abandonment wounds, people emotionally leaving, being rejected, being unseen again. What do you guys think that you grieve the most? Um, so while you guys are thinking about that, uh, I just want to say you're allowed to grieve something you never got. I grieve it all the time, every day of my life. Like, Why was I adopted? Why couldn't my mother keep me? Why did my mother keep my siblings and not me? And just goes down a whole list. So the question is, how do we begin to find ourselves again? Because healing happens in pieces, little tiny moments, little tiny choices, little tiny boundaries, um, where you start to ask yourself, what do I like? What feels peaceful to me? What drains me? What am I done tolerating? What do I want my life to feel like? The person I should have become. Yeah, and we're becoming that now. Yeah, it's happening. So you don't find yourself overnight, you guys. You meet yourself again in pieces. And that's why being alone with yourself for a period of time, it doesn't have to mean that you're isolated from the world completely. Although some of us want to be, we don't want to people, it just, it takes energy. And you will find that if you are not used to being by yourself a lot at first, that you will get used to it, and you'll find that people just they suck your energy, and you don't want. I'm not saying all people, but I'm saying for the most part, especially when you're healing, it takes so much out of you that you'll find you can't tolerate a whole lot of crap, or even just people in general, and that's normal. The person I should have become. I grieve the fact that I was born into that family. Yeah, I understand that, honey pepper, so much. Yeah, and you long to belong to other families. Like if you see other loving families, wishing that you could have that. How many of you guys remember going to friends' houses when you were kids? And they had such a loving mom and a dad and just their whole family, and you just wanted to live there. I remember my best friend that lived across the street from me. Um, she was adopted too, although I didn't know it until later when I was a grown up. But her mom and dad were so nice and so loving. And they'd always make like French toast for dinner, and they'd have like nice calming music on in the background. And she was always so friendly, gave me hugs, and just was so sweet to me all the time and to my friend. And I wanted to live there. I'm like, why couldn't they have adopted me? Done tolerating other people's addictions, long to be connected to myself. Yeah. When people try to pull you into their craziness. So, you guys, you don't find yourself overnight. You find yourself in pieces. And a lot of us have to reparent ourselves. And that's hard too, because we weren't shown how to do it. We have to learn new ways of communicating, ways of validating ourselves, ways of comforting ourselves, because when you've grown up feeling invisible, you pretty much have to. You don't have a choice. Um, but just keep going. That's all I've got to say is keep going. Don't go back to the narcissists, the toxic family members, because a lot of us have had to cut off toxic family members. How many in here had to? I know some in here had to cut off a lot of family. So healing can feel incredibly lonely because when you grow, you outgrow people, you stop tolerating things, you notice toxic behaviors, and suddenly old relationships don't fit anymore. But healthier ones haven't arrived yet. But I can tell you first and foremost, I met my best friend healing. We're both healing. And I met my best friend healing. And my circle is small, but I want it that way because not everybody deserves access to you, you guys. Not everybody deserves access. And some people just want access. They don't want a connection. And when you learn the difference between the two, it makes it easier to vet people out and um, you'll know which people that allow your energy, that deserve your access and energy. Because humans crave connection and we want safe people. We want closeness. We want people who can meet us where we are. And sometimes people can't meet you where you are because they can't even meet themselves there. And that's one lesson that I've learned over the last few months is that, yeah, not everybody, I picture it like you're at the beach and people aren't comfortable going into the deeper waters because there's fish and sharks and other things out there, so they're not willing to meet you out there when you want to go into deeper waters. And It's because they haven't met themselves there yet. And that's incredibly hard and frustrating too, because when you want that connection so badly, because you've been starved of it your entire life, it's frustrating. I get really mad because I'm like, why is nobody like emotionally awake? Why is nobody emotionally intelligent? Why can't they meet me there? Heal, damn it. And I get super frustrated. Can you guys relate to that? Let's see, catch up on these. Other parents were so kind and loving. Those acknowledgments made me feel worse because I wasn't good enough for that attention and affection. But you were, Katie, you were good enough. Unfortunately, you just didn't get it. All the kids deserve that attention and affection. Since blocking the narcissist, my phone is no longer a source of anxiety for me. That's so good, Honey Pepper. I'm glad because, we need our phones nowadays. And for your phone to cause anxiety, that's not good. So I'm so glad it doesn't anymore. That's really good. Thanks for sharing that. Um, so people can't meet themselves. Where they can't meet themselves, they cannot meet you. And that's what comes. Well, I'll open a whole other can of worms here because having adult conversations is not possible with everybody, because they haven't gone down that path yet. You don't know if they're going to go down that path, and it's extremely frustrating. It's like I don't know. Everybody goes through different levels. So when you live through trauma, patience feels hard. And I don't know about all of you, but the universe keeps trying to teach me patience, and I just can't get the lesson. I don't understand the assignment. I don't get it. So yes, healing is very frustrating. How about you? Do you guys have trouble with being patient with your healing with other people? Because your nervous system is always scanning. Is this safe? Can I trust this person? Are they going to hurt me too? And sometimes it feels like life keeps sending you the same kind of people. Like the universe is going, I don't think you learned this lesson. Let's throw you a couple more. Let's throw you some more toxic people. I'm like, okay, I get the assignment. I think I took the test and I passed it. Will you stop sending me these kinds of people? Yeah. So healing can get lonelier before it gets better. And I don't know what stage you guys are at, but like I said before all the time, like healing is not linear. It's not, unfortunately, a straight freaking path. It's all over the freaking place. I just did a video about that with carts and the Star Wars music and all that, where the carts were going all crazy. That is what it feels like because one day you'll be like this. Like I told my best friend, I'm like, one day I'll be playing sad, dark music, and then the next day I'll be playing screamo, loud metal. And it's your just moods are going to go up and down with it because it's just the reality of healing. Thank you, Dee. Yes, especially when they think narcissism and narcissist family dynamics are funny. Yeah, they're definitely not funny. Not for us, especially as scapegoats. Not everyone can handle responsibility and accountability, so adult conversations are not available with them. Yeah. And doesn't it frustrate you, Katie? Like I get so pissed off. I'm just like, universe, can you show me people that can have an adult conversation for crying out loud? Please, for the love of God. So you might feel lonelier before it gets better, the healing part. So what do we do? Number one, stop confusing familiar with safe. Loneliness can make us go backwards, like I said before, but familiar isn't always safe. Excuse me, I got allergies. Number two, build small connections, lives like this one, safe people, support groups, therapy, community spaces, genuine conversations. But like I've said in a couple lives before, watch out for those self-aware narcissists. Watch out for them trying to be coaches. Be very selective on what you consume. So genuine conversations. You don't need 20 people. You just need a few safe ones and learn to sit with yourself. Not isolation, just learning what comforts you, what feels safe, what actually brings you peace. because the waiting period is not punishment, it's preparation. Sometimes healing feels lonely because you're no longer willing to abandon yourself. Just avoid being abandoned by others. And when you trust yourself more, um, and you're more selective about people, then you won't get sucked into the dynamics where they can abandon you, because you're going to have more solid people in your life that have done the healing. You know, they know who they are, they have respect, it's reciprocal. They can meet you where you are because you can meet them where they are, and you're just, when you're both healing, it's a beautiful thing. When you talk to someone and they understand and they're at your level, it's not just surface talk, it's a beautiful thing. And it does happen, you guys. It just takes patience. Like I'm telling you, if it can happen for me, because I am the most freaking impatient person, you wouldn't believe that I drive a semi truck for a living, but a semi truck has taught me how to be patient because of the traffic, and people just drive like a-holes. So if anybody does anybody want to come up on here and talk? Because I think I've kind of covered all my notes on everything I wanted to talk about. If you guys want to, and it doesn't have to just be about this subject. Could be whatever you're going through in your healing process, or if you're still trying to get out of it, or anything like that. You don't have to show your face. You can just talk as always. I posted it in my on my page under the post tab. It's, I don't think I pinned it, but it's under today's image for the live, and the link is in there to come on and talk. And I'll just wait a few seconds because it looks like Deanna wants to come on and talk. And anybody else, let me know if you'd like to. I got your cup, Katie. It is so hot today. Is it hot where you guys are at? It is freaking hot. I'll be so glad when fall comes. What's your guys' favorite time of the year? Mine is fall. It used to be summer because, well, when I lived by the beach, it was more tolerable, but it's not out here because it's hot as hot. It's hot. All right, here comes Deanna. Waiting for her to come on. Here she is.
Hello.
Hi, Deanna. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you?
Good. Always just hanging in there, riding the roller coaster of healing.
Yeah.
Early.
Um, let's see. Oh, I get a good one. He's mad at me, I think. I'm not totally sure. But I asked him to go to the dump because the trash was just piling up. He's the one with the job and the gas money, and he's never offered. And the school year's done, so I don't have a reason to go to town and get rid of the trash. It's ridiculous. And he punched a hole in the wall, and he's pissy at me 4 days later. So I'm like, yay, this is so fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel for you still having to be in those dynamics. Do you ever see yourself in the future not having to be in under the same roof?
I'm telling you, the way he reacted, because number one, he denied that there was a hole. I don't know anything about a hole in the wall.
Gaslighting 101.
Yeah, and he hung up on me. I just wanted to talk about it. We used to be able to, believe it or not. And he just was so infantile about it and ignoring me, but still like fuming mad and all pissy in my presence. And I get it. We don't get along, but it's like, how many days is he going to be mad about? And
Right. So you're holding on to it.
yeah, but I'm like, because I couldn't talk to him, I had to like come to my own conclusions. But I'm like, is he really mad about that? Duh, we share a home. I shouldn't even have to ask. The trash is piling up, like not in my house, like in our main living space. We put it in our
Hmm.
basement. but you go down to the dungeon to do your laundry. So it's like, one time I let the trash pile up to like maybe 20 bags just to see if he would do it. No, no, he's
Wow.
insane. He's
Wow.
insane. Insane.
They're like toddlers. It's like a toddler.
Oh my gosh, he used to have this face. It took me years to figure it out. And it's like, it's my, how dare you make me get up off my ass face.
Oh, that's so frustrating, Deanna.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, but it's very strange because if he wants to do something for somebody, he will. Supposedly has arthritis, but he punches holes in walls.
Right.
Hello.
Make that make sense. I know, right? Yeah, Katie says provide him a list of repair needs and cost, and then he'll be mad at you until you react to his behavior.
I don't know. Maybe
That's
I'm
what he
getting
wants.
yeah, that's a good one, Katie. But the thing is, I guess I'm getting more extreme in my thinking because I'm to the point where I'm so sick of holes punched in walls because my older kids are like, he's always punched holes in walls. Yes, but he used to fix them. He used to apologize. Now it's like, what hole? Your
Oh, now
whole
he's
body.
totally gaslighting you.
I have to laugh. It's like so unreal. So
They're
I
so
guess I'm,
delusional.
yeah, I know. I guess I'm so extreme because I want to cut the drywall off so he'd have to punch the studs, the
Oh,
wood.
yeah.
And it's like, hey, we don't have company anymore. Maybe I should just go for it because I'm telling you,
Right.
right then and there, when I couldn't get any acknowledgement, yeah, I'm sorry, I'll fix it. But it's like, seriously, at his age, punching holes in walls, we're beyond that. We're beyond even apologizing or fixing it because he shouldn't be doing it in the first place. So there's that.
Right.
But if
Yeah, Katie
I'm
says
just
he's
like,
gaslighting himself.
I'm good.
Be careful when they hit something, it's because they likely want to hit you and might eventually do. Just say being careful. Yeah, I hope he
I
doesn't
know.
resort to hitting you.
I know. Oh, wow. He knows I'll hit him back. I'm sorry to say, but I
Hey,
told him
it's
years
self
ago,
protection.
I got screws loose here, here, and here. So don't push me too hard. Seriously, I have 5 brothers. Don't fuck with me. You know, I don't start shit, but I will finish it.
Right.
So
How
anyway,
do your brothers? 5 brothers. That's crazy. I wish I had 5 brothers. Are they very protective of you?
one of them is, yeah, the one closest to me in age. I still talk to him a little bit. But he has like a jealous wife, so she's a pain in the ass. So
Oh,
yeah, she's a whole whatever. Yeah. But yeah, some people are just selfish like that, you know?
yeah.
Um, yes. Yeah. I don't know. We don't have company, so I'm like, go for it. But I'm gonna tell you, when he pulled that crap and was yelling at me, like, yeah, yelling top of his lungs, shut up. And I went in and I was I was going to take a shower anyways. So I had the shower going and I was listening to, okay, they're depressing, but it's like 9/11 fire department, all the radio calls. I had that
Uh-huh.
on full volume, so I couldn't even hear him. It totally took the edge off of him yelling at me to shut up. Okay.
That's good that
Because
you
that's,
found something that works.
yeah, that's his tactic lately. He hides in his room, closes the door. He's behind the door, holding it shut, can't even say anything, and just starts yelling for me to shut up. He's ready for the home. I wanted to, when he did that, I wanted to take his stuff, throw it all out the flipping window. Goodbye. And if it rains, it rains. It happened before. He did something, and it was like 6 or 7 years ago. He still holds this against me. Get this. He he was just being horrible, wouldn't let something go. I'm yelling at him to please stop. Please stop. I couldn't even tell you what it was about, but it was the fact um that he wouldn't stop and he was just being a complete douche and stormed off and didn't come home for a couple days. So I threw his mattress. He has a separate mattress. This is when we were still sharing a room. Threw his stuff out. It did rain, and he knows I'll do it. But to this day, he holds it against me like, oh, you threw me out of your life. Yeah, get the fuck out. You can't take a hint. I'm not putting up with your shit.
Right.
He was so surprised that I threw his damn mattress out. It's like, no, you crossed bound. And he used to like ask for my forgiveness. And I got to a point a few years ago where I told him, I've run out. There's nothing left. There's no more forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. It's
And
like
it's
draining a
like,
bank account. You know, they keep making withdrawals and withdrawals and withdrawals, and you have nothing left. Katie said,
yeah.
send him back to his mother so she can finish baking that bread.
Oh, she died like 12
Oh,
years, 12,
oh,
13 years
Katie, she
before we
can't do
met.
that. Yeah, it's too late
That's
now.
okay. Yeah, I never would have wanted to know her because she was such a bigot and how she hated black people. And she would
Yeah.
make them cross the street. She wouldn't walk near them. She'd make them cross the
Wow.
street.
That's
Like,
sad. That's
yeah,
really sad.
she didn't sound like anybody I wanted to know. So
Right.
I can't say. It doesn't matter if your parents are narcissistic or not. You choose to be an asshole every day of your
Yes.
life. And
Yep.
I'm not going to overlook it. I mean, I'll pretend I'm going to overlook it. I'm not going to call it out, but I'm not a fan. I don't know why
Yep.
people want to be that way. To me, it takes too much energy.
Right. Honey Pepper says narcissists apologize and do the same thing over and over again. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, honey
Their
pepper.
words mean absolutely nothing. Their words. Katie says, oh,
I
yes, she can. Those visiting are always open. Oh, you mean at the gravesite? About sending him back to his mother?
I love you. I know where her grave is. That's his
Yeah,
hometown.
send him.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pick him up
send
and
him
drop
back.
him off.
Right?
So, yeah, before I forget, I just want to say thank you for, I think a couple weeks ago, you all helped me recognize the non-apology apology. If you remember, you're like, that's not an apology.
Yeah. Oh, the blanket apology. What did he say exactly?
It's just, I'm sorry I was a jerk last night, and you don't deserve that. And that would be it. Like that would, and it would be like written out. It wouldn't be like to my face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he didn't name any specific behavior. That's just like a general blanket apology. It doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, and I fell for it for many years. I'm like, oh, he had some reflection, but it's like
I
Honey
think
Pepper
we
said,
all did.
he
I think
does
we
it
all
again
did,
and again.
Deanna. How many of you in here like fell for apologies like that at one time? I did until I, started researching narcissism and what a true apology is it takes where they take full accountability without making you feel guilty for it. And they
Mm-hmm.
name specific behaviors and then they actually make effort to change and don't put any blame at all on you. And they sustain that change because sorry is easy. Saying I'm sorry is easy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hurt you. I'm sorry you feel that way. That's the one I hate. I'm sorry you feel that way. So they're sorry for your feelings. That's not a
Sorry.
sorry either.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That one would trigger me. I always hated it when people would say that. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you
Yeah,
have
that's
no
not
fucking feelings
sorry.
at all. Yeah.
Right? In the dirt, absolutely over and over. Actual accountability. Yes. Actual accountability, making change and sustaining it. Not in just one time, because a narcissist will do that one time. they'll do something good. Okay, I've changed. No, it has to be sustained change. And I
Right.
think I wrote that. I wrote that in my I'll be right back because I have this little chalkboard that I keep in my kitchen, and I wrote this stuff down.
Okay.
I needed to get up anyway and stretch my legs. Yeah. You get older, you can't sit in one position for too long. My bones get all ugh. Okay, so here it is. I
Relatable.
mean,
Very
you
relatable.
guys can't see it like because, the phone on the camera on my phone makes things backwards because I need to use the back camera.
Yeah.
But if I do that, I
Okay.
can't see anything in here. But
Okay.
anyway, I wrote accountability. So it says first, acknowledge without being defensive. Two, it names the specific harm, but they don't say but. They leave but out of it. And then third is remorse that belongs to them, not you. And then the back one is sustained changed behavior. Yeah, that's accountability. And it's different from saying, I'm sorry you feel that way versus I'm sorry that what I did, and then they name that behavior, hurt your feelings. I'm going to change that.
Mm. Are you familiar with the YouTuber New Moon Oracle? She
It
posts.
doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, I'm gonna read something for her from her. So it's on a post instead of a video. The reality
Okay.
of the reality of a narcissist. What you see at the beginning is not what you get. What you see at the start is a charming, seemingly perfect human being who makes you think you've met your soulmate. What you end up with is a manipulative, dishonest, entitled, abusive, grandiose, controlling, riddled with shame and soul sucking human being that will stop at nothing to break your mind, body, and spirit. Who you see at the end is who you've had all along, but now it's without their mask. And I want to add that, oh my gosh, apparently they get really nasty and pathetic toward the end of their life because my husband is older than me. And yeah, he's upped the nastiness.
Really? How
Oh
old
yeah.
is he? Can I ask?
Sure. 1948, so I don't know, 70 something. Old enough to smell
26.
bad
Gonna
and
be
seem like he's losing his mind. He smells like a goat. I have to shut his door.
78. You
I'm gonna
guys, I'm
make
not good with math. 78 years old.
Sure, that sounds good. I'm gonna make
Hi,
fun of him
hi. Sure,
because
that sounds. Hi, Ashlyn.
his goat
You're gonna make
smell
fun of him?
is yes, his goat smell is so bad it drifts out of his room. I have to shut the door while he's not here because I can smell it 2 rooms away. And
His goat smell?
yeah, he smells like a fucking goat.
Like a goat?
I'm not sure how often he bathes. I don't think it's very
Oh,
often. And um what else? I went in there to get an air conditioner out of his room, and because it was so blasted hot, I'm like, okay, 86 degrees in my room. Okay, I've reached my limit of heat tolerance. So I had to run it all day a couple days ago. Anyway, I'm like, he's like a homeless person. There's no sheet on his bed. So that's why part of the reason why it smells. He's never been one for wearing pajamas, so yeah. I mean, gross, and you can't clean up the gross. And there's trash bags. There's bags of trash, but he won't take them out of his room. I don't really care, but it's like, wow. I'm a clutter bug. I admit it, but it doesn't look like a homeless person lives here. It's weird.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. It kills me. Katie says it's a demon taking
always cleaning everything. He took showers, but he didn't floss his teeth ever or use a tongue scraper or mouthwash. And the breath was really bad, like horrid, and didn't cut his toenails. So I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Same thing. Same
Gross.
thing. Same thing. The
Or his
not brushing
fingernails.
teeth.
His fingernails were longer than mine. I was like, man, you need to cut those. I used to always have to get after him. Like, cut your nails, dude.
Yeah, that's weird. Weird little things about them.
Hmm. Yeah, so I guess they can be one extreme or the other, like very messy or very like he used cleaning like as a control thing, and he'd get mad if there was dishes in the sink when we'd come home from work because my daughter didn't do them. But she deals with vertigo and passing out all the time and migraines, so he
Oh
couldn't
wow.
comprehend that. He'd always, well, she can still do it. I said, okay, let me spin you around about 20 times and then hit you on the head with a hammer and see if you feel like doing the dishes.
Oh, Katie just reminded me of something. And she's like, it is. His demon is looking to collect his soul since he can no longer collect his
Electives
replacement.
replaced. Yeah, they.
Um, he has yelled in his sleep for many years. But the last time I heard him, it was actually disturbing. Um, it sounded like what you imagine, like a soul slipping into hell.
Wow, that's crazy.
He sounded like desolate and lost. It wasn't like screaming because you saw something scary. It wasn't like yelling because you're falling. There was something different about it. And I'm just like, I don't want to be there when he dies because it's going to be ugly. I just know it. He's not going to go peacefully.
Does he have like dementia or any health problems?
He just acts weird, and like I was joking that he needs to go to the home because it's like just you'd have to be there, I guess, because his behavior is just so off. Um, I don't really know. I don't really know. I kind of want to talk to his son from his first marriage because I'm like, what do you notice? Because, yeah, I need to talk to you because if he needs to go to the nursing home, like, what do you want to do? Because he already told me, okay, I used to tell him for years, I gave it up, but I used to tell him, be nice to us. We're going to take care of you when you're old. Nobody's going to take care of me. So you're just going to punch holes in walls and just be a nasty, gross mess till the end. Yay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is so, ugh. It's a depressing thought. Like, I get it. Everybody has to go. It's just, some people are just so nasty about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they never change or grow or evolve. They just keep being the same wash, rinse, repeat, nasty. It's really sad. So
Yeah, nasty
when
with
they
no charming
say
mask. Yeah.
narcissists are their own karma, really. If you think about how sad their lives are, and they can never really connect with anybody. So they are always alone, just using people, using and deceiving and manipulating. Like it must be exhausting. I don't, just seems
He
like too
just,
much work for me.
I watch him flip because I don't even know he's around, and I'll be talking to my son that comes over to visit, and he has a big new truck, and his dad comes out like, "Ooh, truck, me want to go for a ride," and it's like I'm not even there, and everything's all great. He gets along with my son, but it's just like, what a phony. It's just disgusting to see his weird behavior, how he's so phony
Hmm.
around people. Um, I don't know. He must be a real ass kisser at work.
Mm-hmm.
As if he
Yeah, it
acted
is
like,
really gross
yeah.
when we see them for who they are. You know, it's sometimes it's gross and sometimes it's funny and like sometimes it's disgusting and because they're comical. You know, it's like, wow, really? Can we?
Hmm.
They can't get past that child stage. They're stuck forever.
Yeah, I feel bad because my youngest is autistic and he records his dad yelling and stuff and he plays it
Mm.
over and over. I'm like, Teddy, I've heard enough of that.
No, that must drive you crazy.
Yes. I'm like, Teddy, I
How
lived
old is
that
your
for many
son?
years. 12.
12. Aw.
I just feel bad because he used to, like, he was more attached to his dad than he was to me. And that broke at some point, and I feel bad because I feel like he didn't really grow up with a dad. Like he didn't get a dad like his older brother sort of kind of did, but
Mm-hmm.
my now 21-year-old daughter will tell you she's never had a dad. So I don't know. I don't know. I
Right.
don't know if the adult kids get along with them because I don't think it's because they never had a problem. I think it's more because they're trying as an adult to have a relationship.
Mm-hmm. They're just at the different stage in their life than the others.
Yeah. See, Katie posted like that recent pope prior to his death. Oh yes, Francis. Wasn't he grumpy? Grumpy face. I'm Catholic, so yeah, I did. I did notice. I mean, the whole world did, but you know what I mean. Oh,
Right.
I had a thought for a topic, but I can't remember now. Those people just
Maybe.
whack your brains out.
Yeah, the brain frog. I don't know if it'll ever go away. Like, I couldn't remember what Darvel meant earlier. Yeah.
Ah, I couldn't help you there. It's okay.
That's okay. Like, toxic is toxic. That's just one of the toxic things they do is Darvo.
Mm-hmm.
Defend, attack, reverse, offender, and victim. Got one. You
Yep,
know,
making
what narciss
making you.
what they love to do. Yeah, karma is a bitch for a reason. They may be reciprocating his behavior back to him as in they don't care anymore, is what Katie said. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Talking about your kids. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard, like it's sad for your because you said he has autism, your youngest son.
Yes, he
And
does.
they don't understand. It's like they take things literally, you know. That's probably why he was repeating. My daughter used to do the same thing, like repeat stuff, record things and just play it over and over and over again. Just or she'd repeat herself, her sentences. She'd say
Yeah.
something and then she'd like whisper it the same thing. She'd say the same sentence and whisper it. She did that a lot. I guess that's a autism thing too. Just repeating things.
Yeah. I just I just hope, the problem is I hate that the shit behavior would affect him psychologically because it's so not normal. Like he can't even say hi to his son ever. And he'd say
Wow.
your kids. Oh, but all the ones out of the house are, oh, hi. What the hell? What the hell? He comes home like someone beat him across the back. Okay. He looks all wiped, won't say hi to anybody, won't even look up. But, he's got high for other people. So, and he'll I've heard him tell his sons, "Oh yeah, I got an easy job." Okay, it's just the end of the world when you come home, I guess. Well, who makes it that way?
Right.
Who makes
Right.
it that way?
Yeah. They.
Oh, I thought of something. I'm always thinking of stuff. It's awful.
What's that?
My well, my topic of interest, because I am stuck in a relationship, but it's calling boundaries. Like earlier, I said, okay, I'm not tolerating this. I'm not tolerating that. I've kicked him out of my room. So I have my space, in a way. But I stopped driving anywhere with him a few years ago because I had a very unpleasant trip from hell to it wasn't a funeral, it was like a celebration of life for his sister,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to go like 3 hours away. So it was a long miserable trip. And he didn't know the way, so we're using the GPS, and he's an idiot that can't hear very well, won't get a hearing aid, got the window open all the way down the highway, can't hear what the GPS says. So I co-pilot, I read out, I repeat back what it said for directions. And he would tell me to shut the fuck up or something unpleasant every single time. After an hour and a half or so, I says, "Motherfucker, you need to stop." Okay? And he wouldn't. And he
And
got
he
so
was
pissed.
driving.
Yep. And he got so angry at me, he pulled over and threatened to leave us. And at that point, I says,
Wow.
"Good." I says, "Good. You'll be doing me a favor. Please leave. Goodbye." He wouldn't, because it was a bluff. And I called it.
Right.
But my poor son's in the back crying. Okay.
Your
So it does,
youngest.
yeah, it does affect him. He tries to
Oh, of
laugh it
course.
off. Yeah. But because of that, I will not drive with him anymore because, oh my gosh, for many years, I don't know what you call it. It's a form of abuse where you use the car as a weapon. And if he didn't like what I said, he'd speed up, drive like a jerk, all that.
Oh yeah, they drive like maniacs.
But
Yeah.
he would save the worst for me, but he would pull that crap with a carload of kids. Like, come on. Such a piece of shit.
Hmm. Hmm.
Honest to
Or they'll be
goodness.
drinking and driving. They drink and drive like a crazy ass
Oh my
and
gosh.
put
And
everybody's life in danger.
yeah, he has sleep apnea. I'd offered, he'd be falling asleep. I'd look over and I'm like, oh my gosh. He keeps letting off the accelerator. So I'm like looking over. I'm like, he's nodding up and nodding up. And I'd be like, can I drive? You can, rest when we get home. Nope. He'd rather fucking die than, I think it's a control issue.
Oh, definitely.
He wouldn't let me
Yeah,
drive.
just like Katie said, that was his controlling abuse. All narcs use vehicles to trap you and control you. Yep.
Oh
We
my God.
probably all have stories with
Yeah.
narcissists and vehicles. Coercion. Yep.
Yeah.
That's scary, especially for the kids, man. That's a good boundary, though. Just don't ever go in the car with them again. It's not worth your life and your kids if he's going to act like that.
I won't.
And then to have
Yeah.
sleep apnea, oh my gosh, let me tell you a story because just a couple days ago, okay, I drive a semi truck. So sometimes we go to Utah and two of my coworkers had to go to Utah and a semi truck driver fell asleep at the wheel and he went over the median and he crashed head on with another semi truck driver and killed him. So it was like an 8 hour backup in traffic. And that's not the first time I've heard that either. So that falling asleep at the wheel stuff is no joke. That's scary. It's really scary. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't get in a car with him.
He's a bad driver on a good day too. Like he's curbed.
Yeah.
He insisted that he used my car because his was getting repaired. I says, "Oh hell no. I will bring you to work. I will drop you off and I will pick you up." And he was usually
Mhm.
he's okay with it, but this time he was all nasty about it. And I just said, "No, you've curbed my car." He's curbed my car and I had to get new tires, and it's like, no. Hell to the no. Um
Right.
so I just the best thing I can do is I've moved on with my life. Um and I call my boundaries. I make my boundaries. I won't drive with him. He doesn't share a room with me and everything else. So,
That's good, Deanna. You've
yeah,
already
he
like
hates
left
it.
in your mind.
Yeah,
What's that?
he totally hates it.
Oh well, he'll get over it. Yeah, your protection and boundaries, like you're doing great. It's like
Thank
you've already
you.
left in your mind, so you've got the boundaries up and all of that. Like you don't put up with this crap anymore. That's
Yeah, so
good.
I got a question for you. All right. Now, there's the trauma bond, and there's a YouTuber. I won't say her name, but it rhymes with funny, and that's all I'm going to say because I'm not
Honey.
here to call out, but this
Right.
person wants you to take a quiz. And I think that everybody's trauma bonded so she can make money off you with counseling. And I'm just like, I don't think so. I don't think I'm trauma bonded to this loser.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
know
you,
I
you got
was.
to be got to be careful with those people out there. Just like I know there's someone that, well, several people that sell a course about how to break the trauma bond in like 21 days or whatever their claim is. Like you don't need no 21 days, and it doesn't always happen in 21 days for everybody. You don't need a course on it. It pisses me off when people try to make money off people like that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, are you a
No.
narc too? Goodness, you're gonna gaslight people? Oh yeah, you're trauma bonded. I don't. Hell no,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Not
And
at
there's
this
lots
point.
of there's lots of narcs out there that are on social media pretending to be victims of narcissistic abuse, making money off people. That pisses me off.
Thank you. Okay, I would just wanted to check in about that.
Yeah, we have to be careful and vet everybody out there because so many people are easily influenced and they fall for anything on social media. Like you really have to watch people, their patterns, their claims that they have. Like you'll see stuff about as seen on NBC or as seen on here, and this is the best course rated by so and so, but there's nothing to back it up, and they just they play on people's vulnerability and they make it like a desperate thing, like you need to do this now kind of thing, because they just want to make the money off of them. It pisses me off because
That's
I've bought some
awful.
courses out there. Yeah, I bought some
Oh,
courses and I've done
okay.
some one-on-ones, so I've been down that road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not everybody is safe out there that's claiming to want to help victims.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're aware of people that are diagnosed with that personality disorder and they supposedly help people because they got a doctorate or whatever.
Yeah, and even like therapists, you got to be careful with. I think I was it the last live or the live before that, because not every therapist is educated in narcissism or trauma or whatever. Like some of them are fucked up more than we are, and they'll get fooled by the narcissist, which what happened to me too. I've been down that road too, where
Oh
the
yeah.
narcissist totally fooled the therapist. I was there to get help. I was desperate, and told her what happened, and at first she seemed like she was good and knew what she was doing, and that's the first red flag when she said, "I'm very good at what I do." It's almost like a guy telling you, "I'm a really good guy." If you're really good, you don't have to say that, you prove it to somebody, but she proved that she was not good at what she did, and she
Yeah.
he fooled her big time.
Yeah.
Once
Yep.
worked with this woman who ass kissed her way to superior. It was so pathetic to see. It used to cause secondhand embarrassment a lot. Yeah, it happens all around us. So once we get out of this narcissistic abusive relationship, it ain't over.
Oh,
Because there are
yeah.
all kinds of there's all
My
kinds of them out there.
my autistic son already is like self-conscious and gets embarrassed, but when his dad acts like a jerk and wants to talk to the manager and he's like yelling at them about their policies or whatever, um he's like, "Mom, I don't want to shop with him anymore." I says, "You don't have to. I understand. Yep, he's embarrassing."
Yeah. Oh,
His
that's
other
sad.
Yeah, because his other brothers are able to not downplay it, but it doesn't affect them the same way.
Yeah. Those are his older brothers.
Yeah, yeah, the 17-year-old, he gets along with my 17-year-old son because I don't know, they just have a good relationship, and he's basically his chauffeur because he's learning to drive, so it's great for dad to just have someone drive you. I wish
Hmm.
someone would take him on a hell ride, though. Do you know what? I turned the tables on him. I turned the tables on him. I didn't do anything bad, but I was just, like, speeding up. I was still driving okay. He couldn't, it wasn't even bad, I'm telling you, but he couldn't even take it. He was screaming and holding on for dear life and saying, "Oh my gosh, drop me off at the police station, the hospital." I says, "What? What are they gonna do for you? Give you a ride home 2 hours away? What are you talking about?"
Oh, that's
I
funny.
was
They can
yeah,
dish it, but not take it out. They can dish it.
I was done. We went to the Humane Society because my son wanted to go look for a puppy. And his dad was a complete jackass, and they were just like, "This isn't gonna work out." Um, but I hated the whole experience because they were mad at me, they wouldn't address him at all. Maybe they recognized it just, "Oh, old people can get away with so much shit behavior." So they didn't talk to him
Yeah.
at all, and I was left holding the bag, and I hate that about my life. I'm like, I'm sick of being left holding the bag because this douchebag has no accountability. And so I was driving home from the shit show. So that's when I'm just like, "Yep, gonna turn the tables on you, bitch." He didn't like it at all. He was crying for mommy practically.
Yeah, they
So,
don't like their own medicine.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
they don't like it.
no. Well, so maybe I'm a
Yeah, it's
bad
a one-way
person.
road with that.
Maybe I'm a
Maybe
bad
what?
person. Maybe I'm a bad person because I like having some of my power back. That's what I'm
That
doing now
doesn't
at this
make you a
point.
bad person.
That's
That
what I'm
doesn't make you a
doing
bad person, Deanna.
now. I'm calling my boundaries and I'm getting my power back.
But that doesn't make you bad. It
Thank
just
you.
feels unnatural to us because we're not used to that. We're used to
Yeah.
being walked over all the time and invisible, like not taken seriously and all the stuff that you've been dealing with for so long. Of
Oh
course it's
my
gonna
gosh.
feel that way. It's
Yeah. I have a friend that she puts up with someone's shit behavior because she takes her trash. She gets paid by the state and stuff like that. And she takes all her crap And I says, why don't you like give it back to her sometimes or just, it's not like you have to be nasty and swear at her or anything like that. But she's just like, because I was raised to be nice to everybody. But I don't know, that doesn't really line up very well. I'm like, I don't know about that because this same person has told me, because my husband will be abusive, and she's like, I could not put up with that. I would leave, and I'd just be like, really? I'm calling her bluff because if she's gonna take it up the ass for people that are shitty to her, no, she's not gonna leave. Okay, she's gonna feel
Right.
obligated. So it kind of hurt that she said that, but I recognize that, yeah, okay, so the weak person is gonna tell me she wouldn't put up with that. Uh-huh.
Well, it's easy
Yeah.
for people to say when they're not in it, also.
Oh, for
It's easy to
sure.
talk crap when you're not in it, you know?
True. Yeah, so I try not to take it to heart, but I'm just like, yeah, okay. Everybody says they
Yeah.
wouldn't put up with being slapped around and verbally abused and
It's because they've never been in it or have no clue what it's like.
oh yeah, when he's done pouting and he gets more energy, he'll be going back to yelling at me every day.
Right. Yep. Wash, rinse, and repeat, right?
Yeah, what a sickening life. Because it's always somebody else's fault. That's why.
Hmm.
Always somebody
So,
else.
Deanna, what do you do to help like ground yourself or get your peace back? I mean, I know you're setting boundaries and stuff like that, but how do you I know you have that beautiful mountain too. What do you
Yeah.
do for you to get your energy back?
Um, I think it does affect my health and my cortisol levels. So I'm
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not sure. Um, it's not like I'm just surviving. I think I'm doing about as well as I can. So I have my hobbies, I have my garden. Um, I think I have my children. They might not want to talk about his bullshit, but just the fact that they were there and they know and they're not fooled by his nonsense, most of them. So that helps a lot.
Right. That's good.
I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does.
I
Just
have,
finding things that you enjoy
yeah,
and peace and, part of your autonomy to escape the
yeah.
madness.
I mean, I mean, I'm certainly not better than other people. I did have a drinking issue some years ago, not bad,
Hmm.
but at least I'm not feeling like, gee, I think I need to call in a bottle because I can't stand this crap.
Right.
Because I've had to be there for my kids. So, um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I managed somehow, maybe for being in therapy for 15 years. I did some dialectic behavior therapy, and honestly, I can't tell you how it helps because I didn't understand it for shit, but it did. Because cognitive
What's
behavioral
it
therapy,
called? Dialectic? What'd you call
yes,
it? Dialectic?
yes, yep. Dialectic is like opposites, so opposite to emotion. Um, it doesn't mean being fake though and smiling when something really hurts. So I'm not very good at
Right.
explaining, but I will just say that most therapists are trained in cognitive behavioral therapy, which worked for
Hmm.
me for a time, but then it got to a point where it didn't work and I didn't know why. So we did get the diagnosis of, actually, they don't call it a diagnosis. They just say, oh, you meet the criteria. This is weird. It's a mental
Hmm.
illness, but they still call it criteria for borderline personality disorder. Well, I've come away from that and I am much better, so I am not in that space anymore. But that's who dialectic behavior therapy was made for, um, borderline. I always hated that because it's like, am I an asshole? Borderline. We don't know about your personality, but it's got a disorder. Uh, yeah. Damn, that's a roller
Hey,
coaster.
with some of the childhoods that we've had to endure, of course, we're going to pick up something. It's just the body can only handle so much, especially when you're a child, and you pick that up. And there's a lot of shame. People have a lot of shame in those, what do they call, criteria now, since they don't say diagnosis. Is that what you said?
Yes, correct. The
Yeah,
thing
people
is,
people
oh,
make you feel so shameful because of those diagnoses, but like it's not like you went to the store and said, "Hey, I think I'm going to pick up some borderline personality disorder." It was given to us. It wasn't our choice.
yeah.
Some of my personalities are really nice people, Katie says.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
like, because there's people that don't even think that our mental health is a thing at all.
Well,
And
the
it
thing,
blows my mind because it's a part of our bodies. Our brain is a part of our bodies. And then some people
right.
that'll shove it down. I don't need no therapist. I'm okay. I'm happy all the time. I know
So,
people that I talk to that say they're
un,
happy all the time. I'm like, okay, you
yeah.
keep living in that delusion.
Well,
You
unlike
know,
schizophrenia, uh, BPD can go away. It can resolve. So that's the good thing.
I've heard that
So,
too because someone I recently spoke to said that exact same thing, that their therapist now thinks that they don't meet the criteria. I don't know how many you have to have for BPD out of the DSM, but
yes,
now she
yep,
meets less of those criteria than before.
yep,
So it's improving.
that's good. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, because our brains are neuroplastic, but like for the narcissist, I don't think it is. I'm no therapist or anything, but I'm just saying, based on what I've seen, that they don't
Yeah.
change. They don't. They just up their antics. Definitely pick up some negative behaviors from our environment. Katie says that was a gift from my mother. Yeah, gift, generational trauma. Yay. Yay for
What was
generational trauma.
Oh, that was the gift from her mother was the generational. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was just going to ask what.
The diagnosis or criteria or whatever. Let's see. Let me read back up. Oh, she said some of my personalities are really nice people. That was a gift from my mother.
Love you, Katie. That's awesome.
Environments are so important. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
You only get one
And
childhood.
yeah, and it's really sad how many of us, our childhood has been stolen out of
Yeah,
no fault of our own. But
right. It
I am
does
glad
suck.
though. Tell me if you feel the same because it could be worse, right? I hate saying that because the narcissist used to always say that. But the reason I'm saying that now is I would rather much be where I'm at now and a nice, decent human being that's trying to change and evolve and grow and help others, turn my pain into purpose, than to be a piece of shit narcissist that continues doing the same shit over and over and over and over and over, and they just
Yeah,
never get anywhere in life
yeah,
except by manipulating people and destroying people. And like, how can you feel good about yourself when you're doing that? Even though they think they're doing nothing wrong, they know what they're doing at the same time.
yeah. I
It's
know.
just, they're such a
I
mind fuck. It's just,
yes,
and then I
ma'am.
have to stop thinking about it because I'm never going to you're never going to make sense out of it. It will never, it's like a Rubik's Cube thing that you will never solve.
I
I'm just
guess
glad
they
we're not them.
I guess they get it figured out because they know
I guess they
everything.
think yes, they know everything and they do no wrong.
They don't know shit and their life is miserable.
Yes, and their life
Oh,
is shit. I don't know. I mean, life is hard either way, but it's definitely a lot harder with them in it, having to deal with their crap.
yeah, maybe if I don't divorce them and get rid of them out of my life, I think it'll give me uh some kind of satisfaction if I outlive him. That's my goal.
Yeah. Usually women do outlive men for the most part, you know.
Yeah, yeah, true.
See how long have we been on? A little over an hour. It seems longer than an hour.
I talk a lot.
That's okay. That's what it's for. But I don't know. Does anyone else want to come on here? I wish that YouTube, I'm still going to try to figure out how to get more of us on here than one, but I have so much stuff and life keeps happening. I wish I was retired so I could just do this full time, but eventually I'll figure it out because it took me a minute to figure out this part to get you to even come on here to talk. So if anybody wants to come on and talk, let me know because I might wrap this up shortly in a few minutes because I have some stuff to do,
Well, thank you so much
adulting things.
for listening to my foul mouth.
You're welcome, Deanna. And I'm a trucker, girlfriend. You don't have to worry about your mouth with me.
That's that's
And
true.
even before I was a trucker, I had a mouth on me. Hava Java, if you go to my page on my YouTube, go to the post tab and then look for the today's live. You'll see the image on there about feeling invisible. And inside the comments there's a link and you can come on. But I don't know how. Yeah, try it and see if Deanna's still on here, if it'll let you. Oh, she went away. Sorry, Deanna, I didn't mean to kick you off. Did you accidentally get off? I don't know if she had technical difficulties or she just thought I wasn't booting you. You did better than my big mouth. Yeah. Let me know if you found it, Java Java. I'm gonna well, shoot, I can't do it because I'm not on my laptop. I need a new computer. My computer and I were in a toxic relationship today. Like, I wanted to throw it across the frickin' room. That's why I'm not using it because otherwise I could copy and paste the link inside the comments. But here on my phone, it won't even let me send comments to you guys. So, no, I just went off because only one person can be on. Okay, well, I didn't mean to boot you off without saying goodbye or thank you for sharing. I always enjoy talking to you guys on here. But you sound like you're doing really well, Deanna. You're strong. You got good boundaries. You see through the crap. You know the game. You have your autonomy. You have your garden, finding little pieces, a piece where you can. Definitely not getting in the car with him anymore. Yeah, because we want you back here. No lies. We don't want any accidents. That falling asleep at the wheel thing is no joke. Scary. And there was even a guy at work that they thought he had fallen asleep at the wheel, but he had some medical condition, and I don't know what exactly it was, but he wound up wrecking, and luckily he was okay. But that's scary. Um, Gosh, I wish I could get it on here. Were you able to find the post link on my page? Like the tabs. If you go to the tabs, like it'll say shorts, videos, lives, and then I think it says posts. And then if you go down, I don't know how to use this green screen on here to show the post. Let me see. Here, let me show you. Okay, if you go to See this? I can't move it over, but it'll show you the live right here. It'll show you the live, and then within the comments there, you can grab the link. Okay. Okay, so if you go in where I wrote, go to the top of that image, and then in what I wrote about today's live, and down towards the bottom, you'll see the blue link. Well, let's see what else I can find in here. This is cool. Using the green screen, I can put stuff up on here to like show you guys stuff. This is cool. I don't know if I can do this on my laptop. So I'm just messing around while waiting for her to find that. But um, what would you guys like to see videos on? I always ask this on all of my lives. What you guys want to see videos on, what you want the next live to be about. And then, I always open it up for you guys, kind of like a free talk. So we'll wait a little longer and see if she can find it. Get rid of the green screen. That's cool. I figure out what to use this for. I like your podcast. Yeah. Are you talking about the lives or like the video podcast, Honey Pepper? I haven't done a podcast in a while. I actually started working on one today before the live, and it's about this subject. Just feeling invisible. Because I'm learning new things to do with the videos as I grow this channel. See what else can I put on here. I hope you found it, Hava Java. Sorry, no, I'll have to try another time. Okay, well, I tried to post it in this live description today, but like I said, we were in a toxic dynamic this morning with technology was just being not nice to me. I wanted to throw my phone, I wanted to throw the computer, all of it, but dang it, I wish I could send it to you. Hey, Katie, I know Katie or Deanna, somebody in here, they'll probably be able to grab it for you and put it in the comments. Can one of you guys do that for her? Because I really like you to have a chance to talk. Anybody? Hang on. I don't know why I didn't think about that earlier because someone can go grab that link and put it in the comment section and then you can click on it that way. I don't know if the chat's delayed or whatever. Are you guys still in here, Deanna and Katie or Honey Pepper? Anybody? Anybody could grab that. Oh, like a pinned comment. It wasn't pinned, but see the background I have here? I had that image for today's live. And then if you go into the comments above that image, it's at the bottom of my comments for the link. It's a live link. So a couple people disappeared. So I think they might be off going to try to find it for her. So we'll just wait. What else could we talk about? It's me and I think it's just me and Deanna now. So fun talking to you guys. Let's see. I don't know. It's probably too late to try to grab it off my laptop. But my laptop, it's so slow. I really need a new one. It's just not being very cooperative. I don't know how I have to leave the page to go on your main page to get the link. I think Katie or someone might have. I've never left. Anybody, you guys can it won't let me copy the link. How about Stargazer? Anybody, can you try to grab it? Uh, I'm going to see if I can get it somehow, but I don't know because I'm on my phone. I'm not on my laptop. I need to throw this thing out the window. It's super slow. So I just bought a cheap laptop for this. So one day, maybe when my channel grows some more, I'll be able to buy some equipment, like a nice microphone. Tenant's number is frequently inaccurate. Yeah, people come and go, and some people might be looking through the window and they don't come through the door or into the live. It's kind of like TikToks like that. Like you can look through the window and not come in. So you don't notice, like people might be watching and the numbers don't mean anything. Like there could be a handful of people watching at the window and they don't come into the live at all. So they're looky loos. YouTube. Yeah, I think Katie might have gone off because she's not on here. I have a suspicion that she's off trying to grab the link. Mm. This is so slow, you guys. I don't even want to. I want to throw this computer in the trash for real. I'm not finding the link. I think that's it. I'm not sure. What's it? Oh, stop. Okay. Hope Katie can make it work. I'm not finding the link. Yeah, it's in the post. You know the tabs, Katie, on top where it says shorts, videos, lives, and then post. We're going to rock out. Yeah, that was Godsmack. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube for copyright. I don't know if they allow you to play music. Like, I remember watching TikToks a long time ago, people's lives, and they would play music in the background. But because YouTube is my main channel, I don't want to be getting like strikes for anything. You're not seeing the link in the chat. Scroll. I posted a link. Oh, oh, Sharon wants to join. So she found it, but is Hava Java still in here? So I know she wanted to come on and talk, but let's see what Katie has to say. Maybe she has to give me a message.
Found it.
Hey.
Hey. Oops, sorry. We're all over the place. Holy crap.
Okay, we're dealing. The sound is stupid again.
Ugh.
The dang sound is stupid again. This is why I tried to go onto my. I just really need a new laptop. This is why I was going to try to go onto my laptop because the sound after a while, after the live has been running, it goes stupid. Like I can hear you, but it's very faint. Hey, Sharon. Honey Pepper says, hey, Sharon.
Yay.
Oh, the echo is back?
Yeah,
It's echoing?
probably. I'm not hearing that
Freaking
echo.
technology. Stop being a narcissist.
Yeah,
Stupid technology.
exactly.
It's always something. You get rid of one and then they come back in different forms, I swear. I hear you both
That's just like a
fun. Okay, so
narcissistic relationship.
maybe it's your connection, Deanna. I don't know. Freaking technology, I swear. It's
Yeah.
always something. But at least we're here. How are you doing,
Yeah.
Katie?
Oh, I'm doing good. I was just gonna touch on the whole vehicle entrapment thing.
The what?
When a narcissist traps you in a vehicle and you don't know they're a narcissist.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That whole thing that Deanna was going through, that he was falling asleep. They all do that. It's control, it's coercion, it's to get you to fear. And it is to get you to give them energy through fear.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. You know.
Vehicle entrapment.
Yeah.
She said, okay, the abuse has a name. Deanna, learn the name to vehicle entrapment.
Yeah, the
Or they will
entrapment.
drink and drive, which was the narcissist
Oh,
I
yeah.
was with. He would drink and drive all crazy. He almost
Yeah,
crashed into
they'll
a
do.
K-rail.
Yeah. Well, they'll make sure that you're in the vehicle and whatever they're going to hit is on your side of the vehicle. They'll create fear to harm
Oh,
you.
yeah, it was on my side.
Yeah, exactly. Always.
Yeah, I had to grab the steering wheel and like if I wasn't there, he would have hit it.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, is to control you, to take you out of your character, out of your normal self. It's a reaction. And so you're in a fear state because you don't want yourself to die, or to suffer and then die, or suffer and be maimed because of this dumbass. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a control thing. So yeah,
Yeah,
I had
exactly.
it.
100%. It's a selfish person there, Glennis, but you know that. Oh, yeah, unfortunately I do. I know that all too well.
Oh yeah, we all
Beyond
do.
selfish. Just
It's
but they
just when
play
you
the nice guy.
it's when you figure out that your dating relationship, your marriage, your association to people, you're actually dealing with a 3-year-old and letting them drive. You're letting them drink and drive.
I have
And
an
then they
idea.
show.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my earbuds and see if that works. I'll be right back,
Okay.
okay?
Sounds
Because
great.
I hate having to strain to listen to you because I feel like I'm kind of ignoring her, but I can't hear her. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Down. On the way through.
Is your audio not coming through?
No, I'm on camera.
I know that.
No, Glennis's audio is having problems, as always. It's, I swear to God, it's a Gen X curse. If you're Gen X and you figure something out on computers, the computer whatevers have to go, no, no, you're not allowed to have it.
I don't.
There she is, magic.
Yay! Yay! I can hear you now. Problem solved. Fuck
Yay.
you, technology.
Yeah.
Hi, Glennis.
Hi. How you doing, Andrew?
Oh, paperwork. Loads and loads of paperwork.
Oh,
I'm taking it
lovely.
off today and playing video games.
Yeah.
Ah, good that you're taking a day off because paperwork sucks.
Paperwork, adulting.
It sucks. Yes, adulting sucks.
Adulting just,
It,
oh,
Honey
it,
Pepper's
it gets a
laughing.
little bit higher and more paperwork and stuff to be done tomorrow. So, me and my business partner are. It's going to be nothing but phone calls and hours and hours and hours of phone calls tomorrow. You want to join?
no,
I'm good. I'm
no.
good. You
She's
have
got
fun
her
with
own stuff
that.
to do.
But look,
Yeah.
you're moving forward, having your own business, your own autonomy, no boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, the worst part is I am my own boss, and he sucks.
Yeah.
Well, then you can kick his own. You can kick your own ass then.
Pretty
Go.
much. He lets me get away with shit.
Yeah. As your own boss, you can go put yourself in the corner, or you can eat a donut and have a donut break whenever.
Yeah, right, right. Write yourself up.
Yeah, write yourself as a tax exemption.
I am my own tax exemption. Thank you very much.
But yeah, so yeah, the I have so many memories of my most recent former narcissist, because I've already reached the stage to realize the deep dig, the roller coaster. I went all the way back as often as possible, at least tier one. I claim tier one of dark shadows and reflection. And it was just like, okay, my mom started it. I continued it because that's what I knew. And so the most recent narcissist was not even a husband, it was just a regular partner. And not only would he use vehicles for coercion, but he would use my vehicle that I worked really hard for and paid for and took care of. And I loved it. That's why anytime you love something, the narcissist will find it, whether it's a clothing item, a picture, a vehicle, a pet, your
Yep.
house. And if you love it, they will destroy it,
Yeah.
because you cannot be distracted by, not giving
Right.
adoration to them at
They're
all
they're the
times.
ones that need to be on the pedestal.
They are the
Yep.
3-year-old that still needs a boob. Okay.
Yes. Pretty
They
much.
want to be breastfed. And,
Yeah.
you know, talking with my therapist during all this time, my 4-year time, I was just like, it is really weird.
Oh wait, Papa Java, don't leave. Let's get because I want her to have a chance to talk, but I want to listen to everybody. So if
Yeah.
you can stay, we can open it up and you can come on. So
Okay.
what should we do?
Yeah.
Like I hate to time anybody, but hang around.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Katie.
So I didn't understand exactly what it was. And the therapist that I work with, he had as a therapist, it's hard to concept exactly, you know, because when you start listening and stuff, as a therapist, you'll catch a clue, but it's not exact. They have to decipher between, is my client being overreactive? Is my client having their own concerns? It's all true because narcissism is completely encompassing. But when I was
Mm-hmm.
speaking with him about the former partner's behaviors, I'm like, look, when I'm my natural, loving, caring, doting self, he's fucking angry at me about it, which is confusing to me. I would love to have someone treat me that well.
Mm-hmm.
But when he would piss me off to the point where I'm just like livid all day long, because of how they want to get at you, needle you, and make you
Mm-hmm.
angry,
Poke, poke, poke,
I
poke.
would then, yeah, they would, it's more than just poking the bear. It's like fucking cutting it up and stabbing it. It's like
I
poking the
know.
bear in 1,000 paper cuts every minute.
Right, and throwing
But
rocks too.
when I'd become so angry that, I'm just livid, I'm out of my character, then he was happy. He was content,
Yeah.
not just because he's controlling me, because that's how his mother was. She was always angry. The narcissist will birth a narcissist. And she was
Mm-hmm.
malignant. I got to meet her, and I didn't have the education at the time. Now I do, and I'm like, oh, she was malignant from the right off the bat. But yeah, if I would treated him like shit and said terrible things to him that I normally would never choose to say to someone that I love, I don't want to say hurtful things to people. God, he was just a happy person because he was a small child being scolded, and he's got to do better from mommy. And I'm
Right.
like, ew, gross. I did,
Yeah.
um, as someone, as the partner to this hot mess, um, you cannot be with them and be angry all the time because it takes you out of the character, much less have a sexuality, a sexual relationship, because technically what it feels like is that you're trying to get aroused with a child. And
Mm-hmm.
that,
Oh, can I look at it like that? Because that's really how it is. Yeah. I said
yeah,
to my daughter one time, I'm like, I feel like a pedophile
yes,
because they have the mindset of a child, literally. They're just in
yeah,
an adult body.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's gross. And then they get mad at you because you're not feeling the vibe. And I'm like, no, a 3-year-old should have been in bed by 7. You get your dinner at 4:30, you get a bath at 5, you get 1 hour playtime, and your ass is in bed by 7. Out of my room.
Yeah, we were trying to raise children. Yes, I have a cat too. I have two dogs and a cat and a bunny, honey pupper. A petulant child, yes.
Petulant child, yes, all the time. They want to be harmed. That's the whole thing. When you are a woman with a male narcissist, um, they want you to be their mother wound. They want to be able to hate you
Yeah.
because they hate their mother and they hate themselves, and they want to project their hate onto you. And the last 2 years have been just like, I want off this roller coaster. I hate this fucking college. I don't want to be a detective anymore. Fuck all these people. And I'm so
Right.
done, you know. But I know there's more
Yeah,
tears
and
to
all the
this. And so,
jobs.
you know,
Yeah.
it just makes you sick on the inside because it's just like, this is not who I am. You know, when
Hmm.
you're with a narcissist, they make you disassociate your own identity. That's, one of the, who am I? That's where I got shattered,
Hmm.
and I'm like, who the fuck am I now? I don't know who I am. Even my son had told me
Hmm.
that in the very beginning. He's like, Mom, I don't know who you are. And I'm like, well, join the club. I'm totally lost. I don't know what I like anymore. I don't know what I want to
Yeah,
do anymore. And so, that's taken time to cross over because you have to grieve that. You have to grieve the person
absolutely.
that you were, and now you
And
have to
that
become a
you,
new
and I,
person.
I bet some of us, and that some of us maybe never knew ourselves because of our childhood. I
Right.
mean, I know what yours was like, and mine was the same way, and so many others. We never knew who we were because we weren't allowed to be ourselves, you know. And so, what do you find like? How can I word this question? It's almost like, like when I told you about, I feel like imposter syndrome sometimes when I come on
Yes.
here and I'm like, how can I do a live when I'm feeling like such shit? I'm supposed to be helping people heal, but at the same time, I'm being authentic because this is what healing looks like. It is fucking messy. Like the other day, I felt so depressed because there was someone in my life, who she is, that came back and I couldn't meet them where I wanted to meet them. And I felt like it was just a tease, like when you're on the outside looking in all the time and you
Yeah.
just can't quite reach that. It was
Yeah.
incredibly depressing because you have this hope and then you get let down. And so, but I'm like, no, the community needs to know, people need to know this is what healing looks like. It's messy and it's not
Yeah.
fun, but there are fun moments. Like I remember when you had that beautiful moment where you went to visit family and you saw right through them. It's like you were watching a movie and you didn't let them suck you into their chaos. So there's
Yeah.
beautiful times like that, y'all. So don't get too discouraged because it's like a roller
Yeah.
coaster.
For
It's
for
crazy.
me, I think that we'll go back to our Generation X, our 80s. Who remembers making a collage? So I loved collages. I love them because they're very creative. So as your life goes on, you are the big blank canvas. And then you cut out this picture from the magazines, remember? And you cut out this phrase, and you cut out that picture and that thought, and you start putting them on your canvas. That's who you are. And then you get with a narcissist, and it's not that they knocked over your collage or your picture, they blew it the fuck up. It's gone, it's obliterated.
They lit a
you know
match and fire and dynamite and all of it.
oh god, yeah, they'll burn.
Yeah,
They don't just burn you down, they shatter your entire soul. As a kid that didn't have enough and I had to learn things on my own, I had to, now I'm pushing 60 and have to reparent myself, and I'm like, we should be able to sue for that personally. um you know
I wish.
yeah,
I
but
wish there
it's
was
just
a way.
like
It's that invisible violence that you can't prove.
yeah, well, at least not in most of the states we're in. Tennessee's working on, or Tennessee put in a law for coercive abuse is
Coercive
now illegal. If you're found
intent,
to be a
intent
coercive
of.
abuser, yeah, it's criminal now. So I'm like, good, because it's psychological. But it's like it's not enough for them to break you down, because you get used to being broken down. And when you're at that point when you're like believing what they're saying, you get used to it. It's not enough for them. They got to have your everlast life soul drop. So that's what I've
Yeah.
always said, is that their whole plan is to make sure that you end your life, and they're excited to be able to see you end your life in front of them.
Mm,
That's a huge thing for them. They want to make sure you end
yep.
yourself. And I'm just like, that's not love. And that's on my final day of discard. That was a bit, you don't know what love is. I'm like, well, whatever it is, it ain't what you're providing. And
Right.
it
Oh, and
messed with me for
Deanna
months.
said, they love men more. Danish Bashir explains this pretty well.
I
Oh yeah, they're
think,
secretly gay for real. They're
well,
secretly gay.
I think there's supply sexual. Because sex is the greatest supply there is, because you're in a vulnerable state, physically and mentally, and bring in the sex, and that's a huge vulnerability and an energy exchange. So they are supply sexual. They will take that supply from men, they will take it from women, they will take it from children, especially their
Children,
own
their
children.
own children,
Yeah, they'll take it from a domesticated
dead
animal or
people,
a livestock animal. They'll take it from a
dead
car.
people,
I get I'm
or
like, ugh. you know.
Oh yeah. Do you remember that show, Sex Sent Me to the
Taboo,
ER?
taboo, yeah. I remember Taboo. They're
Some guy.
some crazy people on there. The one that always dunged me in the head. It was grown adults in their 40s and higher, run around some lady's backyard in their diapers, just diapers like babies, and she would have to bottle feed them if they paid the amount. She would breastfeed them if they paid a higher amount. And the top tier is they could poop in their own diaper and she would clean them like a baby.
Mhm.
I'm
That's
like, okay, that
insane.
was an interesting way to make $1,000, but I have morality and I can't do that. And, uh, you know,
That
but
is
she
so
would put them in
gross.
high chairs. She would feed them, cream corn, and it was like, oh God. I'm like, I gotta stop watching that shit because that was creepy. But yeah, people would do whatever to garner supply if they don't like themselves, and it's just like I said, for these past 2 years, I'm like, oh, that's what, because we see this craziness all the time with the internet. We see it every day. Before we just had like 5 o'clock news telling us that this weirdo did something weird down the road and he was naked and being weird. Now,
This is the thing that I thought of this week is that because a narcissist is always running from themselves and they can never escape themselves, they make you pay for that
yes, yep.
because they can't
They,
escape themselves and they don't know how.
but then they get
They're just
mad because
trapped
they
in
can't
this.
escape themselves.
Yeah.
They're
So they
always
make us
mad.
pay
And
for it.
yeah, and that's what I said. That's why I would stand on that hill. They made a deal with the devil. The devil sent a demon. The demon is their overlord, and they're out there trying to collect souls to replace
Hmm.
them. Mm, this is a $1 billion God question. Disney, because Disney has told us that the Princess and the Frog was more enlightening than a whole bunch of music. Yeah. Oh my God.
Hmm.
Because it's just like, yeah, they were trying. Because that was the whole thing. That voodoo character had to collect souls so his wouldn't be taken.
Hmm.
That's all they
Right.
do. They're there to collect souls, and when they get old and are no longer articulate, and no longer charming, no longer smart enough to lie to people. You know, they can't do it, and the demons come for their soul. They're coming to collect.
Yeah, that's why they can't sit with themselves in silence like we are able to.
Yeah,
We're able to heal and evolve and grow, and they're not. They're stuck. They're
right.
prisoners of themselves.
Yeah, and they choose that, and
Yes.
then they're
So
mad because nobody can unlock the gates. And we've
yeah,
all tried. We have all tried.
yeah,
We've
we
put it
tried. We did try
everything.
too much.
You
We
know,
tried too much.
well, we gave up. We
Honey
abandoned
Drippers says,
ourselves. Yeah.
mhm.
They definitely made a deal with the devil. No way ordinary people act like that. Right. That's the whole thing. It's not even. I have so much trouble with normal because who am I to ever say what normal is anymore? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows what normal is? I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
But average humanity,
Um,
average intelligence would tell you not to poop in your own pants on purpose. Yeah. But that's what they do.
yeah,
They will poop on everything, and then get
that's
mad.
definitely abnormal,
Yeah.
right?
That's the whole thing. They're
Crazy.
and then when I learned about the gray matter, the lack of brain matter, gray matter, I'm like, remember in the 80s, the whole thing was like, oh, you're an airhead. And I'm like,
Uh-huh. It's
yeah,
an
they're an
actual
airhead.
thing. Yeah, it's an actual thing.
Yeah.
It was just a way to like put someone down, but it's actually a real thing with narcissists.
Yeah.
They lack that gray empathy, gray matter, and the
And so,
empathy
yeah,
part of the
they're
brain.
the only feelings that they have is like the stem that reaches the brain, the core feelings. So they're very cavemanish and have not been for you. They are very, you know, Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon, at least Cro-Magnon had vocabulary a little bit, but they're very Neanderthal. They're just do basics. But for anybody else, they put on the mask and then show off how cute and sweet and wonderful they are while they're berating
And
you, you
helpful.
know, seconds away from it. You know, but
Yep.
my former partner, he would do that all the time. He had broken his ankle, shattered his ankle because just being stupid. And I wonder about it now, but you know, it's just kind of like, whatever, what's the point? He has to live with it. But he broke his ankle while he was at work, and then he was literally out of work for a whole entire year, and then got mad because workman's comp only pays for what, 6 months at the most.
Hmm.
And he, you know, mad as, I'm like, well, then go back to work. Oh, I can't walk. We were just over his favorite flying monkey person. We were just over visiting, you know, and he was up and walking and just, you know, I can lift this and I can lift that. And I'm like, any other day he'd be in our house in using a flipping wheelchair, but he's out at her house with her and her husband. Then he's moving a barbecue grill and running in the backyard. And, you know, we were
Hmm.
having a barbecue party and he just having a happy old day. But less than 2 hours ago, he was in a wheelchair. And I'm just like, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? You know. But yeah, for
Good
his day,
performance. I didn't know I was in the circus.
yeah.
Where's the
I didn't
peanuts?
I yeah, I didn't know I was the ringleader. You know, because they can only have this flying monkey circus if there's someone to perform for. You
Hmm.
know, and just all these things. It's, oh my God. And so, like, my son and I, we've had, you know, if you'll meet somebody, mom, and I'm like, yes, I'll probably meet a lot of people in my life. I ain't having no relationship. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If
Yeah,
I
you can
ain't,
meet people all day long, but are they quality?
yeah, I don't. You can meet people all day long. You don't have to like them, and you damn sure don't have to tolerate the crazy. You know,
Right. And Havachava
Eh,
says, yes, they do become paranoid. They are paranoid. Like,
very
yeah, but you
paranoid.
always have to lie. You always have to remember your lies. You always have to be scared of getting, found out.
That's why they accuse
It's a
you of
shitty way to live.
everything they do, because
Hmm. Haven't
with that
suffered me
lack of
neither. I'm
gray
good. I'm
matter, they
mostly
have
good.
no cognitive thinking, they have no rational thinking, and so they've already done, you know, had a cheating relationship, whether it was just, you know, verbal on the phone or an actuality of sexual encounter with someone out there that doesn't know any better, or co-workers, you know, once again, supply is supply, men, women, children, animals, whatever. And but since they've done that, you've done it, and you did it first.
Hmm.
It's all your fault.
Right. So that
You made it.
justifies their behavior all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
had to cheat
justifies
because
whatever
you did
they
it
do.
first. And you're like,
And then when they do it, they water it down.
it
But it
wasn't that
wasn't that
important.
bad because they meant this. Yeah,
Well, you did it
you're
first.
overreacting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did it
you paid
first.
me.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
didn't do
How do I
anything at
know
10
you're
o'clock
not
this
doing it?
morning. Yeah, at 10 o'clock this morning, I was doing dishes.
Science.
That's not sexual to me. I don't know what porn you're
Deanna
watching.
says, I think the science explanation gives them excuses, so I don't give it credence. Same,
Right.
Deanna.
Yeah.
And there's therapists out there that'll say, oh, well, they're human beings too. Yeah, no, the fuck they're not.
Oh, yeah. Well, the ones that are saying it are
They're
also
not.
narcissists, and they want you to join the group, be in that dark
Yeah,
collective. And I'm like, no,
the
thank
cult.
you. I'm regaining my own life essence. I'm not handing that out anymore. I can't do that.
Yeah,
Because in my head, and it was something that I had said to him prior, him storming out the door because nobody loves him. I was like, you have shattered my love cup, my loving cup. To me, that's a spirit, that's a source. That's what you pour out of is your love cup. You know, you have what
hmm,
you have, and then if you have a little extra and you choose to give it to him, there you go. But a narcissist will drain and drain and drain and drain and drain, and pretty soon they shatter your cup, and then you got to build a whole new cup.
Yeah, you have nothing left.
Yeah, you have
Like
nothing
they're
left. And
always
that's,
making withdrawals.
yeah.
Withdrawals.
When I had lived in Kansas, in Wichita, Kansas, there was a wonderful pottery place there. She had greenware, and all you had to do is paint it, and then she would fire it, and then you'd got a ceramic, personally painted piece. And I would love to find one of those
Mhm.
places again, and just kind of like, or like, I know there's going to be plenty around. I just have to actually have the bravery to get the hell out of the house and not talk to people. But I would love to get to a pottery place, make my own ceramic cup, and then paint it. I think that would be so very
Yeah,
cathartic. But
that would be a fun like group activity with a bunch of like if
yeah,
we could
because
all get
everybody has
together,
a
that'd be
different
cool.
idea of what of their, you don't even have to have a love cup. That's just me. But yeah,
Right.
but I take
But
it
I
kind
like
of
what that
like,
represents.
yeah, because that's, you have your, of course, me, I'm German descent, so I'm going to have a big Stein. And, but for me, it'd be a nice round handle, but the pour spout will be on the side, not at, you know, not on an end, not like a
Yeah.
water or, milk jug thing. It'd be at a side piece. And so that way you can turn it. Otherwise it goes to you, you know. But that's just my thought. And it's just,
Had to
so,
plug it
like
in.
I base it on like the Holy Grail type thing, you know. If there was a cup that was made to collect the life essence of Jesus on the cross, that's the Holy Grail. So it's just like you make your own Holy Grail, your own life essence, you know.
Hmm.
But
I
that'd be
love
something
that.
I'd like to do.
Mama Java
Plus,
says, I like the metaphor. Narcissist fearful of rejection.
yeah, because they already reject
Some words
themselves.
you never say to the narcissist. Yes, they hate themselves. They
Yeah,
secretly despise you but use you. Yes.
yeah, they're just so hateful. Whomever gave them the very first traumatic injury in the life, because like I said, empaths and narcissists come from the same tapestry. We all had childhood trauma. It's
Hmm.
just the choices of what we did with it. Was our
Hmm.
choices great? No, because I pretty much cowered in the corner most of my childhood, trying to protect myself, but wasn't going to happen. But as I continued to grow and I continued to make choices of how I wanted to be, I wasn't going to hate people and take all my hatred out on people. I didn't like that. Because,
Hmm.
I don't know about everybody else, but to me, hatred makes you sick. You
Hmm.
know, you get the headaches, you get the stomach aches, itchy skin, and you cannot, you can't be with
Yeah.
yourself. You can't be with others. When you push away even the smallest of joy, because that's all we were ever promised, is small amounts of joy, you know. And when you're so hateful and you push away the smallest amounts of joy, that that's horrible. And I just I'm still very fearful of, because my former partner, I'm not saying our first 2 years were wonderful. Of course, we had our what I just considered a disagreement. I did not have the knowledge at the time that I was being discarded each time. I'm too stupid for that. No, I just thought he was having a bad day. you know, but it was not as bad as it turned out to be, especially in our last year. Because yes, punching a wall, God, when they punch a wall or break something, that they're envisioning your head, and they're not brave enough to do it yet.
Hmm.
Plus, they don't want to go to jail. You know, but
Right.
yeah, that's them showing off what they really want to do to you. And I didn't even realize. That's why I said,
Hmm.
that's what I did with mine when he punched a hole in the wall. Well, actually, he didn't punch a hole in the wall. He picked up our great big my igloo cooler, one of the travel ones with a handle, and you pull it. It's huge. He literally picked it up and threw it into the wall. I'm like, oh, you're gonna pay for that,
Oh my
just
God.
because I didn't do it. Oh no, I'm not. You made me. Like, dude, I was in the bathroom taking a piss. I didn't make you do anything. You just lost it.
It was your telekinesis. It was your
Yeah,
telekinesis that made him do it.
my telekinesis gas. I did not know I had gas
Yes,
that caused
narcissists make
eruptions
you
like that.
forget about yourself.
Yeah,
I
punching
put that about
objects.
punching objects. I don't feel threatened. It just pisses me off that he doesn't care about our home. Yeah, total
Right.
disregard.
Yeah, they don't. They're disrespectful to themselves, so they're going to be disrespectful to everything you try to provide care for. Are the walls going to be dusty? Probably. But, that's nothing compared to somebody just, suddenly popping off and punching a big hole or throwing a flipping cooler into the wall. Really?
That's
And
insane. That's big.
yeah, and it was, I mean,
Did it
literally,
make
we were
that
just,
huge? Did it make that huge of a hole, or just did just like the corner of it hit the wall? Or was it the whole like huge hole like this?
you would think it would make a big hole. He was so, and it pissed him off even further because he was such a weak man that he picked up an empty cooler, threw it at the wall, and then the only thing that made a hole was one of the wheels on the damn cooler. He was wanting a bigger hole to be showy, like, look at me, I'm a big man. But no, he
Mm.
made a tiny hole. And so now he's mad because he made a tiny hole. So I mean, just, shit that the way they think, I'm just like, you crazy. You're a complete and total dumbass. You
Yeah,
made
it's
a
mind
tiny, I'm
blowing.
glad, and so I told him to go buy it. He wouldn't go buy it. I couldn't stand that hole. So, which is why he wouldn't go purchase it. And so I went out and bought the stupid little kit because really it was more like a 2 inch by 2 inch hole. And I went out and bought the damn kit. And I'm like, okay, do it. Oh, I don't know how. I'm like, dude, you punch enough holes in the wall. I hate about it, but
Deanna,
who
I
said
thought
what?
the same thing. I thought that too, Deanna. She said he
Yeah,
probably has a tiny pee-pee too. Because I thought about that when she said it was a tiny hole and he got mad.
yeah.
Narcissists are
That's like you ought to be
toxic.
happy you
Yeah,
got
they
a tiny
mirror
hole.
everything.
Yeah, but
That's why I say they should all be paid actors in Hollywood.
yes, but they couldn't act well enough to actually stay on the screen. Because that's the whole thing. The Actors Guild has actual rules of your behavior while you're on and off scene. If the director's telling you to act like an asshole, go for it. If you're off screen, don't act like an asshole. Don't
Right.
go around harming people. But we know how Hollywood goes. Whoever's enough has enough money or bought
Yeah,
that
the
demon
whole
deal.
like
But yeah, and so he cried and fussed because he didn't know how to repair the hole. And I'm like, it's called instructions. Read, will you? I'm like, didn't you graduate high school? No, I dropped out. And I'm like, yeah, and it just
that
makes you
explains it.
understand what a bad choice you've made. If you would have asked these questions, and who knew that someone in your age group you'd have to ask, can you comprehend English? Can you read? Now I know, but it's you didn't think you had to do all
But you know
that.
what? They also
Mhm.
they also play the dumb card.
Yeah.
They play the dumb card a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah, they do all the time. And it's a control issue. It's always a control issue. They smile and tell you wonderful things to control you. They yell at you and do terrible things to control you, you know, because to them, control is love. And the
Hmm.
control is the farthest thing from
They're
love.
sick and twisted. Yeah.
Why do they
Why
say they
does a
don't care?
narcissist say I don't care? Because they don't. Because they don't.
Well, when they say it to you, is because they're trying to make you feel as if you're not worthy of their care. So,
And then they'll,
let me,
but then they'll go out and show a complete stranger that kindness that you wanted from them.
right, their
That
favorite flying
hurts you some
monkeys.
more.
Yeah, just everything they do. Once they've got you locked in, everything they do from then on out is to control you and hurt you because they enjoy your pain. That's all. That's the only enjoyment that they get is your pain. So even if, like,
Very sadistic.
from my background,
Do you
my
think that all narcissists are sadistic?
yes, even the smallest
The
manners
brain injury
makes narc abuse worse. Asking because he was in a single car accident with a bloody nose and refused to get medical exam. Well, shit, brain injuries can cause narcissism. Brain injuries can take you from one character and switch you completely over to the direct opposite. That's
to
been
a whole
proven.
new other one.
Yeah. That's the interesting
Yes,
thing
I think
about
that's definitely possible.
yeah. He didn't want to go to, the hospital to receive care because then they'd ask him all kinds of questions and or cuz my former partner used to do the same thing. He would never see a doctor because then he'd have to be held responsible and accountable for his actions to his own body because they're all addicts one way or another. Either they overdrink, overuse illicit drugs, overuse medicated, prescribed drugs. They will, fuck, they could eat dirt all day. I mean, but the point is, they want to do what they want to do. They don't want to be held accountable for it. And as we all know, when we go to the doctor, what do doctors have? What's wrong with you today? Now, for us, it sounds okay because, yeah, we could answer it. They don't want to answer it because that means responsibility and accountability, and
Hmm.
they don't want it. And then they don't want to have to pay for it.
Right? And then they feel like they're being attacked.
Yeah,
What
they
are the
always feel like
signs
they're
to
being
look
attacked.
for when the narcissist has or is slowly checking out, and why don't they tell you? Checking out as in dying or having a narcissistic collapse?
Or have they found a new supply and want to get rid of you?
Hmm. I think narcissists are groomed to verbally abuse you.
Well, yeah, because
I think it's
whether it's male, female, or otherwise, like I said, narcissists and empaths come from the same cloth. So, as an empath, you had childhood traumas. The narcissist definitely had childhood traumas. But you make a choice to whether to continue that trauma onto other people or work through it if you're lucky or internalize it. I internalized it. Most people internalize it because if you're a child, a small child with a narcissistic parents, they make you do that. So children that become narcissists, they internalize it also, but to release it, to relieve it a little bit, they turn that out at other people. You know, they hate
yes,
themselves.
because
Their parents hate them. Yeah.
they can't soothe themselves. They have to look
No.
for that. That's why they always need the supply because they need somebody else to regulate them. They cannot do that themselves.
Right. So as in leaving you. Okay, so the whole thing is that it is a deep dive. So like currently in today's age, everybody has a cell phone. So when that cell phone becomes more important than any conversation with you, becomes more important than they can't make eye contact because they're fucking around on the phone. And they don't, like I said, they don't even have to have sex with this person. They don't even have to meet these people. Social media is the biggest energy supply, short of actual
Oh,
physical
it's such
content.
a huge playground. It is
Yeah.
such a huge playground for them. They have endless
And
supply.
so one of the signs that I always my former partner, he always wanted me to get onto Facebook and play those Facebook games. And so fine, I did. And then he'd get mad because I would be doing better than him. And then he'd want us to join a community in that game, a group in that game. And, if I got elected to, sergeant of arms or something in a stupid Facebook game, for God's sakes, I don't care. Whatever. It's a game. It's not real. He would get mad. So the thing of it is, what he would do is like, oh, this other character, oh, she's a beautiful young lady, and I've already talked to her privately. And I'm like, okay, good for you. What has she got? Does she have research? Things you're supposed to be asking for in war-centric games, mindless games. That was my thinking. His thinking was he was going to use somebody across the damn ocean, has to translate into English to play this game in our group. But, he's going to give all the energy to I didn't know what was going on. I just thought I was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I'm like, I'm with a stupid person. What's wrong with me? But yeah, they will in your face tell you or compare you, which is triangulation. They'll compare you to a dog. They'll compare you to a bird. They'll compare you to a car. They'll definitely compare you to your same sex person. So this woman looks better than you. This woman is smarter than you. So that's kind of like level one. When they step up, they compare you to men and they want to be with men. That's supply sexual. Or when that's tier two, when it gets really crazy, they'll compare you to the beauty and the love of a small child. And they will just drown themselves in that child being so lovey and cute, and it's icky. It's icky to watch because they'll do it to their own
Yeah.
children in front of you. I mean, look at all the cases that we've had about, why you can go on TikTok, YouTube, whatever. I know there's a lady that was talking about things that had occurred to her 14 years ago because now the child that her husband, which was the father of that daughter, he was sexually assaulting her every day and then would tell her to keep it quiet. Don't let mommy know.
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know so yes, they will always try and triangulate you with something right off the bat, whether it's a human, a toaster, a movie. They'll triangulate you with everything just to piss you off, to get your
Uh-huh.
reaction. you know
Yep.
so yeah, that's one of the first signs. But so once you get that figured out, what is the steps for you? Do you think narcissists are capable of being good husbands? Oh, hell no.
Why do they get married? I, this one is
Sup-
always in my mind, especially
Supply,
with
baby.
self-aware narcissists. Sam Backman,
Oh yeah, Lee Hammock,
Lee
Sam
Hammock,
Backman, Ben Johnson, all of them. It is permanent
Ben Johnson, or
supply.
is it Ben Taylor? Ben Taylor? Is that who you
There
meant?
might be both.
I don't
Who
know who Ben
knows?
Johnson is.
Maybe it is
Yeah.
Ben Taylor.
But
But it
yeah,
could be another one out there. It is
toaster.
permanent supply because, like I said, when they lock you in, you are the permanent supply. That's why, when you get with someone and they want to have a baby right away, oh, I love you. I want to have children with you because it's a tie down. Because even if you divorce,
Yeah.
you're still connected to them because of the
But
child. They
yeah.
will use the child to
Yep.
triangulate you against you. Triangulate against you.
This is
Yeah.
what happened to me. Like or they'll always try to have some of your belongings, or they
Oh,
will
yeah.
leave their
Trophy stealers.
belongings, or have
Oh, yeah.
some reason to come back in, because he would always want, well, he would
Yeah.
offer, well, you can still keep your stuff in my storage, because he still wanted access.
Yeah.
Anything that they can do to keep holding on to you, to keep you on that shelf, to have access, they will
Yes.
do it.
Anything. They
I
always
wonder
want
if
you.
Hava Java, Hava Java's there. I wish we could all come on here. I really have to figure that
Oh,
out,
okay.
because I want
Um,
to.
so Hava
Is that
Java.
why I
Oh,
can't
is that why
stand
I
to
can't
listen to these
stand to
people for
listen to
more than a
these
minute?
people for
I
sure?
don't want to
Yeah,
talk.
exactly. I don't want to help from a narc. Yeah, nobody wants to help a narc,
Yeah.
but no,
I mean, I didn't
a
want to cut you
nurse.
off. I don't want to cut you off, Katie, though, if you weren't done. I just want to say if she's
Yeah,
still on here, because I don't know how
that's what I
much
was going to
longer
ask.
I'm going to be on.
Yeah. Okay, so I can get off here, but Honey Pepper, no, they don't have trouble with forgiveness. They never will. They don't have the capacity to ever forgive. Okay, I'm getting off now. I'll give you a chance, Hava Java.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if she can try when you're on here, if it'll still tell me, and then she'll be like in a waiting line. I don't know how it works. I'm
How
still
do I end
figuring all
this?
this stuff out, you guys. So what's that? I don't know, but
Good
thank you
live
for
chat.
coming on and
Yeah.
sharing all that stuff with us. Thanks for
Mm.
deny being mad and hurt, and we'll still miss you.
No, it won't let you.
Oh, it won't
Okay,
let
give
you
it a
come
minute.
in. Oh,
Let me think here. How do we get off here?
right.
Okay, no camera. I got that part.
All right. There we go. Thank you, Katie. No, she's not leaving. She's just I want to give Hava Java a chance to get on too because I'm gonna end this short not too much longer. Just wanted everybody to have a chance to talk. I know Sharon's funny, huh? She always makes me laugh. Yeah, and her stories are with a narcissist. So we'll give it a few minutes, you guys. It's just, I get tired of sitting here. I couldn't believe that the last one that we had last live last Sunday was 4 hours. It didn't seem like 4 hours, but that was crazy. But it's all good. Now my dogs are standing at the door. They can wait. They can use the keypad. So I'm just going to go over this. I write this accountability thing. I write these down on my my little board that I have in my kitchen because it helps me to, it's like muscle memory, just remembering, okay, accountability, because we're always going to have to protect ourselves from narcissists, right? So if someone is genuinely sorry for the behavior that they have done, number one, they will acknowledge it without defense. And they will name, number two, they will name the specific harm, like no buts in there. They will say, I am sorry that my actions hurt you. And then whatever the action was, I'm sorry that I lied to you and that hurt you. They have to name it and there's no buts with it. Number three is remorse. Remorse belongs to them and not you. They're not trying to make you feel guilty for what they did. It completely belongs to them. And then the last one is sustained change behavior. They can't just talk. They have to actually make that change. And without being prompted, without being reminded, they have to do that without you rowing the boat at all. So that's accountability right there. All those steps. And I might even post that in the community. Hopefully, Java Java's figuring it out. I think she said she found the link. Um, she said she found it before. So I don't know. Maybe we're all in talk. Here we go. She found it. Yay. All right.
Sorry, guys. I haven't a fucking clue what I'm doing.
Is technology giving you a toxic, being in a toxic relationship? Technology's been giving me problems all morning. I'm glad you found it.
Oh, is the camera going to turn upside down? Oh no, the beagle's going to start barking. What the hell next, right? But this is the first time I've come on a live, and I just wanted to say that I'm so glad somehow I fell into the algorithm of your channel there a few weeks back by accident, and it's just like just everybody's authenticity really jumped out at me, and I'm so alone right now in the stage I'm in. So it's like wanted to say thank you, right?
Yay, I'm so glad you found us. I really am. And it found you for a reason. So thank you. And thank you for coming on here. And I'm glad you found the link.
Yeah, it's a hard stage to be in because I'm 43. Well, I ended the relationship on November 29th, but then he went through this really extensive hoovering thing of several months of showing up at my door and whatever. So I've only actually been total non-contact 3 months now. And as I've said on the comments, I'm rebuilding everything from ground zero. And at 63 years old, that's and I read things like I know it probably some people take retirement just as hard or whatever, but um, it feels like a really huge transition to have made this decision to leave a long-term relationship at this age. You know,
Right. And Remind me again. I know it was several years. Like, was it 12, 11?
Yeah, it
I get
was 12
everybody's
years.
years mixed up. 12 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a long time. Yeah,
Yeah, it is a long
reading
time, but,
about
you know, I
stories.
left because I think I felt like my body was absolutely starting to break down from the stress of feeling, pretty much right from
Mm-hmm.
the beginning, the start of the relationship, a sense of dread that never left me. It's hard to describe, but I know other women know what I'm talking about, and the cognitive
Exactly.
dissonance. And you just reach a point where,
Mm-hmm.
and I was afraid to break up with him because I was afraid of him all the way through the relation. What would he do if I left? And all of this. And when I was finally done, it was like anything has got to be better than my body being in this state of adrenaline all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The adrenaline, the cortisol, and you just never get to breathe ever.
No, no,
Did
it's
we lose
and
you? Oh, you're there.
pardon?
Okay. Oh, I thought I lost you for a minute because I sometimes I have audio issues, but I got my
Oh,
earbuds in, so you're still there. I can hear you.
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. So I find it like really positive for me when I listen to women that are uh another year and a half or so, like yourself, or longer out of it, and to realize that, you know, where I'm at kind of emotionally and everything right now is just sort of where most people find themselves.
Hmm. Yeah. And do you find yourself like just completely exhausted, having to take naps all the time? You're just, and even after you take a nap or sleep, that you still feel like you haven't?
Um, well, I
Yes.
started having what you described your daughter's having. I started having severe vertigo last fall, and then it
Mm.
took months, but I was diagnosed with Meniere's and vestibular migraines. But I had never had these things before,
Oh,
and it came on very suddenly in the past year. And this winter, it's been horrific. But I totally think that the stress of all this has been driving that, and my body finally said enough. And so
absolutely.
I think I would be a bit further along if I didn't have to deal with that on top of it, because emotionally, I seem to be farther along than I am physically, if that makes any sense.
Hmm. Yeah, that does make sense. Absolutely. That's good though. It's, our bodies are amazing because they know before our minds and hearts do, because we don't want to believe all the stuff that someone can be so horrible, but in your body, like, I don't know if you've ever had nightmares too, just wake you up out of the sleep because your body's trying to tell you there's danger, danger, danger. You need to
Oh,
protect
absolutely.
yourself. You need to run. Hmm.
Well, it's,
You dealt with that too.
yeah, absolutely. I've dealt with that. And the other thing is, it's so hard to describe to somebody who hasn't been through it because their behavior is, like so often people go back to say the word evil. And to me, I felt like some of the things that I saw him say and his behavior and stuff, it was the closest to evil I've ever been in my life. And this is somebody who, on
Hmm.
the surface, to everybody, he went out of his way to present himself as somebody utterly different than that. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But the
Yes.
actual evil, the feeling of contact with evil at a certain point is inexplicable to most people. Like, how do you say, I felt the presence of evil? And you can have somebody
Hmm.
and punch you in the face and not feel the presence of evil. The presence of evil is
Right.
something else entirely.
Yes. And those dark eyes, I don't know if you've ever seen those.
Well, my ex did not give me eye contact at all, like rigidly, until unless he was angry with me, and then his eye would be blazing. But I that wasn't what was most bothersome to me, was that I just didn't get eye contact, and it was by choice. It was by design, right?
Hmm.
So
To
I
make you
found that.
feel less than.
Oh, absolutely, and I couldn't. We couldn't like. It was like he was speaking Spanish and I was speaking English, like words that you normally
Right.
you don't have those communication problems with anyone else in your life. So you don't understand why it's
Uh-huh.
happening with that person. Does that make sense?
Yes, and the whole world word salad, and you keep trying to explain it in a different way to maybe come down to their level, and you think, am I speaking to a toddler? Because I know I'm making sense, but they make you feel crazy. And it's like you said, they're speaking a whole different language.
Well, I didn't understand a lot of what he did because he came across as so smooth and smug and everything to most of the world. And
Hmm.
although I know his problems happened in any relationship, romantic or otherwise, to anyone who got to know him well enough. And towards the end, or really after I left, I began to understand that what I'd been dealing with was psychopathy. And because we have such a bad description of psychopathy available to people, like most people just take it as a serial killer in the movies, they don't understand how a person really can act like the average person who has psychopathy who's not in jail. And that can
Hmm.
look very different. It can be really confusing when you're in a relationship with it because as
Hmm.
uh, was it Deanna said a little earlier, it's like missing parts of their brain.
Yes, that gray matter, for one.
Yeah.
Like nothing bothers them. Nothing bothers them. Nothing. They just don't care. They just don't care. And it's so hard for us to wrap our minds around that because we're not like that.
No, absolutely not. And
Okay.
I guess one of the things that I'm finding that's changing now for me is that I do feel like I'm starting to be a lot more skeptical about people and I'm more discerning, even if I have a 5 minute chat with somebody or watch somebody for 5 minutes. I'm picking up on things that I wouldn't have before. And it was not like I was a little idiot before I met him. I certainly wasn't. I'd lived through many lives and what have you, but I no longer take what I see at face value, and I no longer believe that other people's values are necessarily like mine.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a hard lesson to learn. It's not everybody has the same heart as you, and it opens your eyes to so much stuff. And it's not that it wasn't there before, it's just now that the fog has lifted and you're so hyper vigilant to everything and you want to protect your peace because being in that type of dynamics is hell. And like you said, you can't explain it to people unless they've been through it. See, they pretend like they don't understand you when you're trying to communicate and resolve problems or issues in the relationship. Yeah, they'll play the dumb card.
Yeah, these relationships
So where are
absolutely.
you at?
Hmm?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Finish what you're saying. They absolutely what?
Oh, they absolutely do change you, and it's funny to be 63 years old and to say, "I'm not sure I know who I am anymore." It's really
Right.
strange, you know?
It is. And it's like waking up so late in life. And do you have this? Like it just makes you angry sometimes. Like, could this not have happened like maybe 30 years ago or 40 years ago? Like now we're in I'll be 59. I think most of us here are Gen X. Um,
Well, I think for me,
to
you
wake up
know,
at this stage in life.
I think for me, and this is the hard part now that I'm going to have to come to terms with in some therapy or whatever. But when I turned 40, my life kind of fell apart. I had a son like yourself who died tragically, and
Hmm.
my second husband was his
So
stepdad,
sorry.
and he left me a year later because I was such in grief, and I lost everything at that point in my life.
Hmm.
Like I was doing my master's, I lost my master's program, my mental health, my home, my child had passed away. It was unbelievable. I went through the
Oh
next
my
10
gosh,
years
everything at
without
once.
dating. And then I met this person. And I think because I was so
Oh
vulnerable when
boy.
I met him, otherwise he would have never
Hmm.
gotten in. Does that make sense?
Right. Yes, absolute sense. And I think I did a live or a video on that a few weeks ago about that when you're grieving like that and you're so vulnerable because that's happened with my son when my son took his life and the narcissist decided to discard me for 3 weeks. Um, I allowed him back in because I was still grieving, and you are vulnerable. You want support, and that's completely normal. You just, and that's what they pick up on is your vulnerabilities, and they know this. They know what they're doing, that and what you need. Highly attracted to kind and empathetic people, those that have gone through trauma. Yeah, so we're more susceptible to being manipulated by people, and that's why a lot of like self-aware narcissists or so-called self-aware narcissists or people that claim that they were in narcissistic abusive relationships but are narcissists are out here getting all these vulnerable people to pay for their courses and one-on-one coaching, and it's frightening.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I think about the people that have these, as you said, the expensive courses where maybe you pay 12 or 1400 to join a group. And then
Hmm.
if you pay that much money to join the group and you make friendships, you have to keep paying monthly to stay in the group, to keep the friendships that you've developed online when you're vulnerable. and and who's profiting off that is the
Hmm.
person in. Now that's not always that malevolent. I mean, it depends on the communities, right? But
Right,
yeah.
not always. Right.
Oh,
But you really have to use the vetting process, and that hypervigilance is there for a reason to protect you because it's so easy. I mean, people are so easily influenced, especially with social media, like the hype of everything, and people are hurting and they're desperate for that pain to end, and they are capitalizing on that with everything that they can. It's
yeah,
sad,
Unruly
but
Peasant says they're absolutely 100% aware that they're harming you. And mine did go to
mhm,
therapy after I left him desperately trying to get me back. And I do believe that was a whole act and a
right.
ruse, so I didn't fall for it. But I went to the first therapy session. I had told him I would do that, and I went, and the two of us
Hmm.
sat in with her, and he totally snowed her in that first session. But he said one of his first opening remarks was, I was a complete monster to her. And then, of course, he burst into tears,
Wow.
right? And went into,
Oh, I'm
oh, I
sorry
was a
to hear.
traumatized child. And at that point, my eyes were rolled up in my head because I had been listening to this shit for 12 years and I knew he was performing.
Yes.
It's so hard.
Yep.
It's so
Yeah,
painful.
therapy is the most dangerous thing you can do with a narcissist. Been down that road too. I feel you on that one. They if the narcissist is not trained, and I think it takes more than book smarts if they have to have lived it to fully understand it. You can't really understand this stuff by reading it in a book.
No, you can't. You absolutely can't because it's energetic, isn't it? It's.
Yes, absolutely. It's a spiritual warfare.
Anyway, I wanted to thank you so much for having me on and a chance to chat with you. I can hear my beagle barking, so I'm going to have to, before I've got a neighbor
Oh,
yelling at me.
okay. Well,
Thank
I'm so
you.
glad you came on this space. Yeah, thank you for
Okay.
sharing.
Bye bye.
Bye. See you next time. Ask in front of others. It's an energy exchange. Absolutely. Well, let's open up if anybody else wants to come on because I'm probably going to end it in maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I'll wait to see. Performance and projection is their favorite pee-pee. Their favorite pee-pee. Yeah. They're all active. It's so funny, you guys, isn't it? And mind blowing that we all like have similar stories with some things. Maybe not every single thing, but her story about Hava Java, about the therapist and everything. That's exactly what happened when in my situation. They just they it still blows my mind how they influence people. One of our couple counselors came across like a chauvinist. They get along great. Yeah, you really have to use the vetting process with everybody. You have to interview the therapist, you have to interview, any of these coaches, like I said on the last live, or I forget what live it was, that you really, there are people out there, not everybody out there claiming to help victims of narcissistic abuse are going to help you. They can cause more damage. It's funny now, once you're away. Yeah, it is. Ironically funny. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, after narcissistic abuse, it's no joke. Like, you still have to keep your radar up, and slow down and just pay attention to everything and everybody. Bye to have a Java. Yeah, her little beagle. The dogs want to go potty. Okay, mine are laying back down again. So, does anybody else want to come back on or come on, talk about anything else? Yeah, I'm glad she got a chance to get on, and I don't want anybody to feel alone. She's freshly out of this, so I'm so glad we have this community, and even though the bots tried to destroy it earlier, thank you to Deanna and Katie. Yeah, she knows what's up. The fog has been cleared to become a narc police officer. Yeah, and they're jobs we don't get paid for. We have PhDs in narcissism, we're narc police officers, but we have so many jobs we don't get paid for. But that's okay. The thing is, we're here supporting each other and getting through it, and we know that we're not crazy because we hear similar stories like that. The whole car thing, the entrapment that they use, and we're definitely not alone. That's for sure, because they all go by the narcissist suck t-shirts. I could make some, Deanna, because I have my store and my merch. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I recently updated it. It's in the link in my bio. But I can wear all narcissist suck t-shirt. Narcissist suck t-shirt. Here, I write it down. Yeah, whatever idea you guys want, I will make. Katie, we had ran across the no mo sexual one, and she said, that's a t-shirt. And I said, okay, I'll make it. So I made the no mo sexual one. Unruly peasant. Yes, we definitely buy that t-shirt. Okay, I'll make it, you guys. You're on. I'll let you know when it comes out. I could put it on a coffee cup too. Coffee cup or whatever you guys. Let's see, they got coffee cups, they got hats. I made this little koozie. Where did it go? I don't know if I showed it to you guys last time, but it's backwards. Um, Let me turn this around. I don't think it's going to let me do it. Okay, let me get rid of the green screen. All right, so here it is. This is a little koozie for a can, and it says unhealed trauma is not a free pass to hurt people. Absolutely the fuck not. And it's got shredding silence on the back. But I can make a koozie, t-shirts, whatever you guys want, um, and put it in my store. T-shirts and coffee mugs. Guilty is charged if someone is offended. Yeah, and it'll be a narcissist that's offended. So it'll be doing its job. It's fun to make stuff. There's so many ideas that I could put in my store. Yeah, and if you guys ever think about anything, just reach out to me or let me know on the whatever live. A pin or a button would be budget friendly. Okay, shirt and a pin. Would anybody want a coffee cup? I think they make stickers too. Complains about a shirt. That's great because you know who to, who to. It might be a repellent, the narcissist repellent. So what else is going on with you guys? Where are you at in your healing journey? Has anything been like weighing on you lately? Did you come to some kind of realization about anything? Um, let's see, I'm trying to think back at my week that the biggest thing was like people can't always meet you where you're at because I recently had a reconciliation with a family member and they're not really willing to talk about what happened like in an adult way. We've never been able to do that with each other, and they'd rather just forget and move on and not really talk about it. But to me, that means it's good to get those things out and not harbor any feelings, and talk about them in a different way, like with respect, reciprocity, validation, actually seeing each other. But not everybody can do that, and it's hard for people. Some people still don't want to go there because they might be uncomfortable with talking about it and just shove it under the rug and let's start fresh. Well, I can't do that. I'd rather talk about things because it's still questions in my mind. So that's what I've been dealing with this week. Katie says, I'm still troubled from my acknowledgement of all the narcissistic people that have been in my life. And that's really rough, isn't it? Like when you look back, Katie, and you think about like almost every single person in my life was freaking toxic. Like, what the hell? Was there not one healthy person that could have taught me something as a child? Yeah, it's very upsetting. Me neither, because accountability needs to be taken. Yeah, and it's kind of like glossing it over and saying, yeah, just forget and move on. It just doesn't sit well with me because if you can't have a healthy conversation as an adult, then how are we going to have a healthy relationship? How is it going to be different from how I don't know. It just seems surface. You know what I can't do the surface shit. I can't do it. So how are you how do you deal with that, Katie? What do you do with realizing that your whole life was filled with those types of people? I gotta plug in my ring light again. And like, abuse can't be swept away. No, it can't. And we can't pretend that it wasn't there. But at the same time, like you can't make somebody um want to talk about things if they're not going to sit at the table with you. So I guess the relationship just doesn't move in the direction that we're both wanting it to. That's what's going to happen because you can't keep explaining your pain to someone and get them to see it if they're not willing to see it. What the hell? What did my rabbit do? My rabbit is right up here and she just made a big thumping sound. I don't know what she's doing. So yeah, it can't be swept away. Um, does anyone else want to come on here or come back on here? Or hey, Honey Pepper, what happened with the window situation? Did you get that resolved? Or Katie's still trying to learn from it, but I'm still very angry at past and present people. That's so normal. The anger is such a normal part of this, and sometimes you feel like it won't bother you. It's the whole roller coaster with healing. Sometimes it won't bother you. You feel like indifferent. And then all of a sudden you start thinking about things again and you get really pissed off. Yep, anger's normal. So anybody in here going through the anger thing, don't be shamed about it. It's normal to feel that. You have every right to be pissed off at how people treated you. And even present people. I don't know if this pisses you guys off, but it really pisses me off because I can't seem to find people that want to meet me in the deeper waters. You remember how I gave you the beach analogy where there's surface level people that only, they're so uncomfortable with having adult meaningful conversation that they want to stay over here in the shallow part of the beach, just dip their toes in or whatever. But I want to have a deeper conversation over here in the deeper waters. And when they can't meet you, that's extremely frustrating to me. Like I don't do well with that. I can't handle the surface talk. I can't fucking do it. If you want surface talk, go to the grocery store and talk to the checker because it's the same old dynamics. How are you? I'm good. How's the weather? Yeah, it's just the surface. I can't do it. I'm still working towards believing that my feelings were and are normal. Yes, they are normal. Yeah, and all the lies that we were told about ourselves and having to rewire all those voices and the chitter chatter, like you really stop and think, okay, whose idea was that was put onto me, that was conditioned, that I was conditioned to believe that's complete bullshit. Unruly Peasant says, yes, it feels like everyone wants to stay in the shallow end and shallow conversations. Does it piss you off? I mean, am I the only one? 'Cause I can't fucking stand that. Sorry for my mouth, but and then I'm not sorry because it's who I am. I'm not going to shrink. It's just who I am. The words describe, it's an adjective that describes how I feel, and it's very strongly about it. So I can't do it. I'd rather not talk to someone than have the shallow fake bullshit. I gotta find my iron. I have to get a new computer because that is backwards, but you all know what it says. Because yes, me and technology are in a toxic relationship right now. I was about to throw it across the room. The husband loves talking to the checkers, even had the nerve to introduce me to, yeah, oh, I bet. Hated it when I teased him for flirting. Oh yeah, been there, done that, Deanna. I know exactly what you're talking about. Shallow combo does piss me off and drains me. Yeah, it's like, how did you deal with that, Deanna? Did you want to just, smack them upside your head? Because that happened to me before, and I said, what do you give her? What are you rating her? Like is she a 10? Is she a 7? Should I let her know what you're rating her as? I was so pissed off. Triangulation is fun for them. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's triangulation because you're always in competition. They always make you feel like competition. Small talk doesn't work on introverted people. Yeah, yeah, we don't do that. Yeah, I just get so frustrated, but at least I have we have each other. We have this community, and I'm so grateful for that. I mean, I wish you guys were all in person. It would be great to see all of you. Like, if y'all came, we met somewhere at some convention center and had dinner. It just would be so fun because can't talk small talk. I told one of them I was unhappy in the marriage in an indirect way. What do you mean an indirect way? Small talk doesn't work for intelligent people. Come to Maryland. I wish. I'm trying. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to make YouTube my full-time job, but it's going to take me a minute. It takes a long time to build, and then you have to build trust. That's first and foremost what I'm trying to do. Excuse me, the CEO of YouTube said the number one way um, to grow your channel is to be authentic. And that's what I try to do. That's why I was telling you before when I used to buy courses that, they showed that you can make like 20, $30,000 a month. And basically it was buying a course to sell a course. And I wasn't for that. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I'm not going to sell a course to someone. Just buy a course just for someone to sell a course. And or selling a course about breaking the trauma bond in like 7 days or making some silly claim of a number. I don't know. I don't remember how I put it to her, but it raised her eyebrows. I think it shattered the false image she had of him. Good. Good for you. If you remember, please share it with us. I'm curious about what you said or did. Come to Maryland. I wish it was easy as that, just to up and leave, but I'm trying. I just got to keep building this channel. Oops. Yeah. Um, I can't think of what else to talk about, y'all, but I'll get to working on that narcissist suck shirt and pins and buttons. I could probably even make stickers. And I do have something fun that I have in my mind in the works that's going to be fun for these lives, but I don't want to give it away yet. As the project comes together more, I'll share it with you, but I think it's going to be fun. It's kind of like a game. So true, but too many people are fixers. Yes, fixers and people pleasers. And some people will get with them and say, well, I can do better than your ex, and then they try to perform. And that's exactly what the narcissist wants because they triangulate everybody and get everybody's in competition and everybody's, you're auditioning. You're always auditioning when you're with a narcissist. Oh, got makeup in my eye. So who's all in here now? Does unruly I can't even talk. Peasant. Do you want to come on and talk? There's a link on my page on the tabs, and you go on the post tab, and it's got this picture on it with the live, so it'll talk about today's live, and in there it says in my comments above the picture, it'll have the link to come in here and talk. I became sober with his triangulation and flirtatious behavior with other women in front of me. You became sober, meaning that you didn't let it bother you anymore. You just kind of saw it for what it was and became indifferent. To this day, I have no proof he cheated on me, but I have had my suspicion for some time. Oh, they most definitely did. They're good at hiding things, but your body knew, Deanna. Your body knows. And the signs that they give off. Some of the signs are like they'll change the way they dress. They'll want to like clean up a little bit more. They'll change their taste in music. Some music that they have not ever listened to before. Those are some of the signs. Um, they talk different. It's because they mirror everybody, so they will say things that they've never said before, like